Happy football and welcome to Thursday night high school football game tonight here at Wildcat Ram Stadium. Along with Jay Ellis, I'm Russell Scott. We've got a district matchup tonight, Highland Park and Berkner. The Rams coming off a 31-0 shutout of Irving. The Scots last week survived a fourth quarter rally and beat Jesuit 35-28. Highland Park tonight looks for a sixth consecutive win. And again, we've got the game coming your way in just a moment as our JSX pregame show gets underway right after this.
The customer service is really unparalleled. I've never seen anything like it with any other company.
The emblem, it just says a lot. It means, hey, I bought from Sewell.
They listened to what I had to say and actually cared about my experience.
Every once in a while, you want to be spoiled, and Sewell does that.
It's not just a transaction. That's the thing about Sewell.
I will always drive a Sewell.
Discover our wide variety of new and certified pre-owned vehicles at Sewell Cadillac or SewellCadillac.com.
Determination on the field breeds determination in life. Discipline needed on the court will be the same discipline that gets the job done. That's why Tailwater Capital is a proud supporter of the Highland Park Athletic Program, the winningest athletic program in the state of Texas. 11 Lone Star Cups, 112 state championships, and a commitment to excellence that serves its players for a lifetime. From the locker room to the boardroom, Scots find a way.
We see you, early riser, paying the price, making your move. We see you because we are you. Entrepreneurs banking entrepreneurs. As one of the few Texas banks participating in the Main Street Lending Program, Vista Bank is helping small businesses put America back to work. Isn't it time you join the over 1,500 new PPP clients and make your move to a bank that hustles as hard as you do? Vista Bank. People first.
Highland Park got their biggest test of the season last week when Jesuit scored 28 points in the fourth quarter, but the Scots held on and they win. They got an outstanding play from their inside linebacker and maybe the best game of the season for their quarterback, but now Scots turn their attention to the Rams of Berkner. We welcome you into the booth. I'm Russell Scott along with Jay Ellis. Jim Castellaw joins us in just a bit for tonight's matchup. It's a rare Thursday night game for Highland Park. Scots had a tough game last week. It looked like it was going to be a breeze going into the fourth quarter, 35-0, and then suddenly Jesuit turns it on and makes a game out of it. Your thoughts on what happened to the Scots and how they respond?
Russell, it's taken me 6 days to try to figure out the answer to that question, and I still can't. And here's why. Normally, if a team that's up by 35 ends up giving up 28 points, there are either some turnovers or there are some really big plays, an 80-yard pass or some trick play. None of that happened. Highland Park was still playing sound football, but somehow Highland Park ended up punting a few times. There was the one onside kick, and Highland Park's defense never gave up the big play, but Jesuit was able to string together several 7 and 8 and 9 yard gains in a sequence that led to moving down the field and getting to the end zone. The good news is there are a couple good points. One is I think the fans in the stands were never concerned that it never quite felt like we were in jeopardy of losing, but it was very real, and Jesuit took it to Highland Park for more than a quarter, or at least a quarter, and I think that's good. And one reason is you don't want these kids 5 weeks from now going into the playoffs feeling like they're invincible. And I'm sure these coaches are going to remind them, remember when Jesuit beat you for more than a quarter? And frankly, that's how I would refer to it. If I were the coaches, I'd refer to it down the road here as the loss to Jesuit. That'll remind these kids, and they don't want that to happen.
Well, speaking of it was not a loss. It was a win.
That's right.
And Highland Park never gave up the lead. The Scots now have never trailed in a game this season, which says a lot about what they've been able to do. But as you said, I think the coaches take what happened in the fourth quarter and use that as motivation moving through the rest of the district, and especially tonight against the Berkner Rams.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about a couple of the players in last week's game. Offensively, I thought maybe the best game of the season for quarterback Brennan Storr. He not only threw for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns, but he ran for more than 100 yards, 147 to be exact, and had a touchdown as well. He seems to be, every week it seems like we say, he's coming into his own. But last week he really did it all, led the team in rushing, and continues to just develop as an outstanding quarterback.
Sure, we're seeing him do different things each week and everything well. But last week, clearly, either the game plan or what they were seeing from up above that leads to the play calls, there were many more plays where by design, Brennan Storr was running the ball, and that's how you get 142 yards. And he was making great decisions as well, running the option several times. He drew in the outside defender and made the pitch to Jay Cox. But he also had several runs that were 10, 15, 20. There may have been a 25-yard run as well. And so when you're clicking on all cylinders, you can be really effective. And one of the benefits of having a quarterback like Storr is you've got an extra man. And so a defense that tries to stop the pass and account for the number of running backs in the backfield still struggles if the quarterback is an effective runner, and Brennan Storr is showing them that he can do that.
You're getting a look at number 7 right there as the Scots warm up, getting ready for tonight's game. Over on defense, I felt like you could have picked out 2 or 3 different people who had great games, but the one that stands out is Tommy Rossley. He had 18 tackles in last week's game.
Not bad, Tommy Rossley. You know, I've been watching the last day and a half. Many of our viewers probably know, but Tommy Rossley was named the Defensive Player of the Week for the Dallas-Fort Worth area by the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. And a lot of the members of our community have been voting online for that. My understanding is he received, are you ready for this? 37,000 votes. 37,000. And I think many of those were in the last hour today, and I think many of them were Scott fans.
I was going to say, I would anticipate that, but that's a lot of votes.
It sure is.
Were those all individuals? Nobody voted twice, right?
Well, I can't promise you that. But what I can tell you is Tommy Rossley was all over the field. The kid is fast. He's a heat-seeking missile, and he's really come into his own, finding the ball carrier and scraping behind the defensive line and beating offensive linemen that are coming to block him before they can get to him to seal him off. So he's making plays both toward the sidelines and also up the middle.
We'd like to catch up with some of the assistant coaches for our pregame. This week we talked with Grayson Wells, the offensive coordinator, and he also coaches the offensive line for the Scots, and just got his thoughts on how this line is coming together this year.
Well, I always feel like the line is it's a work in progress, and we're always working to get better. And we've spent this open week trying to work on some little technique things and just some things to help us improve our play. And I think we're at a good point right now. You know, as a coach, we're never quite satisfied. Always searching for that perfection, you know. But yeah. I've been real pleased thus far with how hard the kids work and what they've learned, and yet we still have a lot to work on. Together, you build a certain measure of unity, and you know, you want to get to the point where you're in the playoffs where you're playing at your peak, and I think we're heading that direction. We still, like I said, have a ways to go, but they've certainly gotten better each week playing together. And we have some good complementary pieces that have stepped in, and Will Ogle and Case Pickleman have done a great job when they've stepped in there. So, you know, I kind of like what I'm seeing, and I just hope we continue to improve.
Coach Grayson Wells also proud of the leadership he's getting off that offensive line. That leadership starts with left tackle Lawson Petty.
Captain, and of course he's got that title, but just by his practice habits and who he is and being a returning starter. That's a natural role for him. And he's done a great job. We've got a lot of leadership from several guys. Andrew Marolis he played a lot at center last year. So I would consider him almost like a starter. And he's done a great job. And he's kind of figured out, he's kind of quarterback of the line. He kind of knows what our play calls are and how to get us in the right sets. And so I've been real proud of him. And it's not really a surprise, but Whit Basso has just really stepped up. And he's been very consistent. And he's given us an additional spark that we didn't necessarily expect.
Right, and obviously he's one of the smaller ones of the group. But in watching you guys practice, seems like he's really a smart kid and stays on top of what it needs to be done out there.
He is. He practices real hard, and he's very strong. And I think he's very quick. So those kind of make up for any size that he lacks compared to the other guys. But I've been real pleased with everybody in different ways. Robert Sweeney's done a great job. We got to keep reminding ourselves it's almost like he's a junior because he didn't get a play last year. So
right.
This is his first full year of playing, Friday level football, and he's improving all the time. And then Jake Watts has just stepped in and he's kind of commandeered that position. And we rotate some guys there some, but he gets most of the reps. And he had a great game last game, but he has just done a lot of things that we didn't know he could do. I've been real proud of him.
Grayson Wells, the offensive line coach for Highland Park. He's been with Coach Randy Allen now for 30. I almost forgot the head coach. He's been with him for 31 years.
31 years is a long time.
It is a very long time. We're going to have to get to break, and when we come back, we'll talk to head coach Randy Allen right after this.
With almost 100 offices across the state of Texas and 50 of them in the DFW area alone, Capital Title is here to serve you. Made by Texans, for Texans. Capital Title is the largest independent title company in the United States. We are Dallas-born, Dallas-based, and family-owned. We support the Highland Park Scots.
It's the Baker Brothers replay. The best offense is a good defense. Baker Brothers blocked those surges before they could take it to the house.
That play was electric.
That's right, Jimmy.
Shocking, even?
We get it, Jimmy.
Call now to get this month's electric special.
Our pregame show tonight brought to you by JSX. They've got private jet perks at airline prices. That's JSX. Scots come in 5-0 tonight. They're 3-0 in district play. Coach Allen built a 35-0 lead against Jesuit last week. Caught up with him and talked to him for a little while this week. And the first question I asked him was about that game, and I said through three quarters everything was great, but let's talk about the important part. What happened in that fourth quarter, Coach?
So let's talk about the first three quarters.
Okay.
You sound like, I feel like Nick Saban at the press conference after they beaten somebody, but no, I mean, we played about as well as we could play for three quarters. It was a combination of Jesuit really started executing well, and we got tired because we played 100 plays during the game, and our guys got fatigued. But I think I'd rather give Jesuit credit for being able to execute. They scored, made it 35-7. They got an onside kick, which put our defense right back out on the field. We got some calls against us in the game that we got one of our best players ejected, William White. He got called for targeting, which if you look at the film, it wasn't targeting at all. He never hit him with his helmet. So it was a bad call, but all those penalties at critical times kept their drives going. That one penalty targeting, we had a 4th and 12, which we would have gotten the ball back. But after the penalty, they got a first down and we had one of our players ejected. We wound up losing our top 3 outside linebackers in the fourth quarter. And so from Jesuit's standpoint, they really fought hard the whole game. From our standpoint, we probably weren't at full strength, although we didn't substitute. We just had some guys that were out for one reason or another. And but we learned a lesson, and that is that playoff teams and really teams that are used to winning don't ever quit, and they're going to make a comeback at some point in the game. The good thing about what we did was I told our players that we need to score first coming out of halftime, and we did that. We scored first possession. Our defense held them. We got the ball and drove down and scored to make it 35-0. And but it wasn't over. And but it's good when your football team can come out of halftime and score a touchdown. I think we did it when we inducted Matthew Stafford, but when you have an extra long halftime, it just adds an element to the game that's one more thing you have to negotiate and overcome. And I thought our kids did a good job of refocusing after halftime. And I just think we played a good football team that was hot in the fourth quarter, and they started executing. And, we had 2 possessions in the fourth quarter where we were unable to drive the ball and eat up enough clock to keep our defense on the sidelines. And that's a concern for me and something that we're going to work on.
But you had 2 94 and a 97-yard drive that you scored on. What does that do for the offense? That's got to build confidence as you go forward, being able to march the length of the field and do that.
Well, to do it, you got to have big plays. And, our players were making big plays. Brennan had a great game. He rushed for 140 yards, and he was on target to a lot of receivers. And then our guys were making great catches. You got to turn some third downs. You got to make some explosive plays to go that far down the field. And that's very encouraging for our football team.
You're looking at your overall stats. You've passed for about twice as much as you've run for, and you've always talked about balance, but you're 5-0, so you've got to like where you are, but would you like to get the running game a little more involved, or are you pretty good where we are right now?
We've always been counterpunchers. We take what you give us, and we always feel like if you load the box, we got to beat you throwing the ball. If you are a light box and you got a lot of people covering us, we got to beat you running the ball. So I think, we'd like to be more efficient running the football. We think our offensive line's getting better. We think we have good backs. So we'd like to be more efficient running the football.
What about Berkner? What do the Rams do? What are we going to see from them?
Well, I'd like to tell you that they're athletic. They can run. They like to hit. They're well coached. They're 3-1 in district. Their coach, Trey Bryant, played at Berkner for Jim Ledford when Trey Bryant was a high school student and a great player. He went on to play college and pro ball. And he's got those young men at Berkner excited about football, and they're playing very good right now. They played with a lot of enthusiasm. They're fast and they're athletic, and you can just tell they love to play the game.
Head coach Randy Allen right there. He's beaten Berkner Rams both times that they played back in 2014 and 2015, which incidentally they were in the same district when Highland Park moved up to 6A for those 2 years. If you have noticed, Jim Castellaw not with us, but he will join us momentarily as soon as he gets finished with a couple of appointments.
Yeah, a Thursday night game I think is tough for Jim. As many people know, he coaches a couple of middle school teams, and I think Thursday is also his parole hearing, so I'm not sure which has kept him away, but he is planning to join us soon. Obviously, we're messing with Coach Castellaw, but he does coach those teams.
We'll take a break. We'll continue with our JSX pregame show in just a moment. Stay with us.
Oh, say, little doggies, why don't you lay down? Lay down, little doggies, lay down.
It's not just what we wear. We are Cavenders, and this is how we live.
Our name, Residential Capital Partners, reflects who we are and how we treat our customers. At Residential Capital Partners, we are dedicated to helping our customers build wealth through real estate. Residential Capital Partners, America's private lender.
The service after the sale is something that will keep bringing my wife and I back as Sewell customers. Give them about 48 hours, tell them what you need service for. They bring you a loan car, pick up your car, take it back, do the service, and come and pick up the loan car. That's like being royalty. If that doesn't invoke loyalty, I don't know what does. I drive a Sewell.
Discover our wide variety of new and certified pre-owned vehicles at Sewell Cadillac or SewellCadillac.com.
Well, it is the tale of the tape tonight. Highland Park's got an offense averaging 423 yards and committing only one turnover all season long. The Berkner Rams allowing 271 yards all season, or on average. They have forced 9 turnovers this season. Swap it around. Berkner averages on offense 367 yards, while Highland Park defense is holding opponents to about 332 yards per game. We caught up with 3 of the Highland Park players to get their player profile and scouting report. Jim had a chance to talk to them and spoke with Grayson Schrank and Tommy Rossley and Jack Morse to get their thoughts on the Berkner Rams and what to expect in tonight's matchup.
Let's move our attention now to tonight's game against Berkner. I believe they were 3-3 record, 3-1 in district though, and they've got some quality athletes, skill people, though they might be young. Let's start with Grayson. Grayson, I know you're a receiver, so you're looking primarily at the secondary. Do you know much about the front seven or at all, or is it mostly just secondary stuff?
I know that their secondary's got some speed to them. I know that they're a young defense, but they typically run more of a cover 3 defense, which is what we saw more in the Louisville game a couple weeks ago. But they run a cover 2, which we haven't seen much this year. So it should be pretty interesting to see how we can react against that. But we've been game planning all week to what works against it, what doesn't against the scout team. So it should be a fun game, and take what we can get, take what they give us, and then hopefully be able to air it out a little bit, have some fun.
Right. Well, that would involve you, I would think, if you're talking about airing it out. Not that Heisen, Herring, and Lilly not going to get their catches, but you've got a way to get behind people as well. Is there? So you're not going to see much man coverage?
I don't think so. I think they'll be doing a lot of rolling, and they play a real deep safety as we've seen. But so some of the underneath stuff should be open early in the game, and once we start hitting that, it should open up a lot of deep stuff, which would come in later. So,
right. Okay. All right, great. And on the defensive side of the ball, Tommy, what can you tell us about the Berkner offense and what we're going to have to stop?
Well, their offense, they are about 60% run. And so we're going to have to shut that down 100%. And of that run, they like zone. So we're going to have to bow that, try to get them off their plan A, get them on their plan B and C, just to throw them off. And really just a good thing against zone is just kind of getting them off their first down, second down, like a TFL in the first down and throw them off. Forcing the air now.
Third and long.
100%. And really just make them kind of reach down in their bag of playbooks or their bag of plays and just pull some out they wouldn't normally play.
Right. And Jack, I'm sure a lot of things Tommy said. Anything else comes to mind that they do well, or you're going to have to be prepared for?
Well, just like Grayson said, they're young, but their skill positions are super quick. They got freshman number 22. He can reverse field like no one else I've seen so far. But they got a young offense quick. We just got to watch the hitches. That's what they love to do, fishing hitches.
The hitch route.
Yes, sir.
And when people say they're young, do you ever tell the rest of your teammates, hey, keep in mind, so am I. I'm young too, and I can play. You have to. That would be a good thing to remind them.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Well, yeah. What is? I know Coach Leidner tries to give you 2 or 3 things, that you need to do to win the game. Is it what you mentioned, Tommy? Keep them off track as far as get them behind the chains.
100%. It's that, but it's not just 3. There's a whole page of it. It's less than 100 rushing yards. It's less than 100 passing yards. It's hold them to 0 points. It's all of it. It's everything you can think about that a defense can do to stop an offense.
Right. Well, it'll be a fun night over there on tomorrow night, Thursday night, and we're looking forward to it.
That, of course, our player scouting report for tonight at Highland Park and Berkner. Usually I call for the Castelaw's keys to the game. I was trying to think of Ellis's. Let me just get Jay's keys to the game tonight for Highland Park.
Alliteration is tough with the letter E. I think the keys are just set the tone early. Highland Park is a really talented and really deep team, offensively and defensively. I think that they've had some additional coaching in the last week, if you know what I mean. The coaches have been working them a little harder after what happened at the end of last game. And again, I think it's a good thing. And obviously they won and were the better team last week. But I think we'll see some real intensity at the start of the game tonight. The offense will want to score the first 2 or 3 drives. Obviously, the defense will want to get 3 and outs, and I suspect that's what we'll see.
Well, the Scots are 10-1 all time here at Wildcat Ram Stadium against Berkner. They are they've won 3 of the 4 meetings that they've played. They try to make it another win tonight, and should be an interesting football game. And we've got all the live play-by-play coming up in just a moment. That's going to wrap up our JSX pregame show. Thanks to all of the crew for tonight's program, and stand by because we've got the game from Wildcat Ram Stadium coming your way right after this. But we're going to leave you with highlights from last week's Highland Park Jesuit matchup. The game, the Scots won 35-28.
This week's highlights brought to you by Macero. Mexican spirit, American life. Go Scots.
He's going to hit Jay Cox. He'll advance into the end zone. Touchdown, Highland Park. Into it. Traffic in trouble. He's going to be sacked. Long this time to Herring in the end zone. He got it. Touchdown. Snap. The handoff. The touchdown. Jay Cox. Go jumbo package. Running right side. Touchdown. 4 wide receivers. Throw. Middle intercepted. Oh, my goodness. This one.
Running his own route. Here we go.
27 yards. So that there's the sack. Conveniently located between Lovers Lane and University Boulevard on Preston Road. Not Just Soccer is locally owned and has served the Highland Park community for youth sports equipment needs since 1989. Whether you're looking for soccer, football, basketball, baseball, volleyball, or lacrosse equipment, they carry it all, and they take pride with specialists in each sport, and in many circumstances, you'll be helped by a current Highland Park athlete. Go Scots! Attention Highland Park Scots and SMU fans, football is back at Highlander and on the Hilltop. And so is your favorite neighborhood burger joint, Goff's Hamburgers. It's the same burgers, same fries, hot dogs, and chicken you loved as a kid, but now in a brand new location. Goff's is now on Mockingbird between SMU and Central Expressway. Drop in for that unmistakable charcoal grill taste. Host a private party in the back room, or hang out and enjoy the Highland Park and SMU memories hanging on the walls. Goff's Hamburgers, proud supporter of the Highland Park Scots.
Had a service culture, and I don't think there's anybody in our company that believes otherwise. Everybody understands that our mission is to take care of families.
And I think what makes me the most proud is how many families and lives we have actually touched. We've been so impactful for so many people, and in different ways of their lives, in ways we couldn't necessarily anticipate.
Curtis Law, the game-winning lawyer.
I'm a link in the chain. I am a link in the chain.
I am a link in the chain.
I'm 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 a link in the chain.
I am a link in the chain.
I am a link in the chain.
I'm a link in the chain.
I'm a link in the chain.
I'm a link in the chain. I'm a link in the chain.
When you play one of us, you play all of us.
Highland Park comes into the game tonight with a 5-0 record. They're trying to go to 4-0 in district play. The Berkner Rams come in 3-3. They're 3-1 in district play. The Rams coming off a 31-0 shutout win over Irving, while Highland Park had to hold on, but they knocked off Jesuit last week 35-28. Tonight, it'll be the 6th time that the Scots and the Rams have played, and we've got all the live play-by-play coming your way from Wildcat Rams Stadium next.
The way Sewell treats me is, I feel important. I feel like I'm in first-class service each and every time I come to Sewell. I will always drive a Sewell.
Discover our wide variety of new and certified pre-owned vehicles at Sewell Cadillac or SewellCadillac.com.
Determination on the field breeds determination in life. Discipline needed on the court will be the same discipline that gets the job done. That's why Tailwater Capital is a proud supporter of the Highland Park Athletic Program, the winningest athletic program in the state of Texas. 11 Lone Star Cups, 112 state championships, and a commitment to excellence that serves its players for a lifetime. From the locker room to the boardroom, Scots find a way.
It's the Baker Brothers replay. Team Baker Brothers scored a big one with its touchdown tune-up.
That unit sure has some cool moves.
I'll admit it, Jimmy. That's one super shuffle.
Free smart home thermostat with a new Lennox AC system.
Presented by Inwood National Bank.
The National Weather Service has issued a severe thunderstorm warning.
Can you feel that? Yeah. It's time to bring up. Make the ground shake when we come. Come on. Touchdown, Jake Ross. Come on. He's got it. Touchdown, Highland Park. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, we gon' rain and we gon' shine. When it's go time. Go, go, go time. We gon' push it to the limit like it's no lie. When it's go time. Go, go, go time. Ground shake when we come. Straight down what you gon' go. Make the ground shake when we come through. Let's go. Let's go.
Well, you're looking live at Wildcat Rams Stadium. We welcome you in for tonight's game. It's Highland Park and the Berkner Rams. The Scots and Rams will battle. Highland Park's got a 3-1 lead in this series. Last time they played was back in 2015. The Scots won 31-17 in that game. In 2014, the Scots won 55-10. The Rams' only victory was back in 1979 when they won a game over at SMU's Ownby Stadium, 32-14. And in 1978, Scots had a shutout win, 35-0. Well, he has finally made it into the stadium. We welcome Jim Castellaw into the pregame show. Scots had a wild game last week. It's 35-0 going into the fourth quarter. They hold on and win it 35-28. Any effect on this game coming in, or is there any thoughts on how the team handles it after that?
Well, if you're talking about a negative effect, no, I don't think so at all. I think it's going to be a positive effect because when I talked to those young men, they were very aware of if they do that again, they're probably going to get beat against a good team. And so they, immediately after the game, and we talked about this with the kids at the halftime interviews, they had a defense-only closed-door meeting and went back and, coaches always are happy when that happens because generally it means they're taking things seriously enough that they want to get them fixed themselves, and they realize the magnitude of what happened. Now, give credit to Jesuit. They're a great team. They fought back just like the Scots would have in the same situation. But again, you never want to get in a situation where you fuel the fire and give somebody the means to come back when you've already got them beat.
Had a great game from the quarterback last week. In fact, Brennan Storr rushes for 142 yards, had a touchdown run. He threw for 210 yards, had 2 touchdown passes in the game. Not often that your quarterback leads you in rushing, especially at Highland Park, but he did just that last week.
And it just shows you what kind of athlete Brennan Storr is. Last year, you didn't see that as much, or he broke early. This year, what you're seeing is he's sitting in the pocket. He's going through his progressions. Now nothing opens up. He'll take off and go. And there's a huge difference between that and looking at your first option and then going because the linebackers are still in position to make the plays then. But Brennan Storr, he's going to be a load for the defensive coordinator on Berkner's side to handle because you got that passing attack with those 4 great receivers, and now you got a quarterback can run on top of it, and it's a tremendous advantage for the Scots.
I always talk to Coach Allen about balance and how he likes to balance what he's doing, and this year couldn't be much more balanced. They have run the ball 129 times. They have thrown the ball 129 times. Is that what he's looking for in balance?
I'd say that's pretty close to, and here's the thing. For balance, you want productive balance. You don't want just balance, but you're ramming your head against the wall and not making any yards. And Brennan Storr is doing just that. He's giving the Scots a weapon that, again, is going to do defensive fits down the road because he can throw so well on top of it.
The other thing is Highland Park does not turn the football over. I mean, they always do well in that category season in and season out. But this year, only 1 turnover all season long.
And I'm going to blame you if there's one tonight. No, they've done a real good job of that so far this year. I think it's, I watch practice quite a bit, and, the coaches harp on it. Ball security, get the ball up by your neck, 2 hands on it when you're fixing to be tackled. And so the kids hear it, see it, and now they're starting to produce what the coaches want.
Over on defense, had a great game last week from, actually you could have picked out, as I told Jay earlier, you could have picked out 2 or 3 of the linebackers to talk about, but Tommy Rossley kind of stole the show. He has a big quarterback sack to go along with that. We've got him down for 18 tackles in last week's game.
18 total, 13 solo. Now that's you're taking the run, you're taking the ball carrier or the receiver down by yourself. 13 of those. He was just all over the place. Now, I will say this. He was very quick to point out he couldn't have done it without the defensive front doing what they do and the other linebackers doing what they do. That 5-man rotation on the defensive front has just been incredibly effective, keeping people fresh, and that's what allowed Rossley to do it. But give him credit. You still got to go out there and make the play when the time comes, and he's doing it. He's a great, fun kid to listen to because he's very humble. He was not a star all the way through. He had to fight and scratch and claw for starting position, and now when it matters most, he's got it on the varsity.
The other name we seemed to call a lot last week was Sam Morris.
Yeah.
He's a sophomore, and yet he gets in there, and last week was all over the place. He had an interception to go along with the many tackles he had in that game.
Right. Talking to Coach Leidner, he just says, we're not trying to keep him out, but we can't avoid seeing what he does and saying, you got to play more. You got to play more. Of course, his brother Sam now playing over at SMU, but he was a 3-year starter for all intents and purposes for the Scots. Started out, if you remember, as an H-back on one of the state championship teams, then evolved into an offensive lineman. But Jack, you see a lot of the same traits. He is savvy, he reads things well, and he ends up around the ball, and that's tremendous for a sophomore.
Talk to me a little bit about what the Berkner Rams do. They are 3-1 coming in district play, but 2-1, I believe, in district play. But talk to me a little bit about what they do and what we can expect tonight.
Well, they're gonna run the ball about 65% of the time. They've got a young team. They've got a freshman starting who is a stud, by the way, out there at the wideout, Damian Crow, number 22. Anytime you're starting a freshman, most of the times for the opponent, you go, well, something must be going on for you to have to play freshman. This kid, when you see him play, you go, I see why he's on the field. The other one, Kobe Foreman, number 1, a sophomore, over on the other side. He'll line up in the backfield some. They've got the ability to hurt you running the ball if you're not sound. All right, and then also they're not going to throw the deep ball a lot, but the short routes, the bubble screens, the hitch routes, that's what you're going to see more times than not from Berkner. They're a team quite capable of beating you if you take them too lightly, and I think the Scots, not that they took Jesuit lightly, but I think they maybe took their foot off the gas a little before they wanted to, and they got something to prove tonight.
One of the other young guys they have is the guy who directs this offense. That's DeMarcus Calhoun, their sophomore quarterback. He'll split time probably with Cornell McGee IV, but Calhoun set to get the start tonight. He's just a sophomore, but can do a lot and really has impressed Coach Trey Bryant in what he's been able to do. Coach Bryant knows he's got a young team, but he really feels like he's kind of changing the culture in just his second year.
Well, if you've got young kids that are winners, and meaning they know what winning is about, they've experienced it, you're almost better off going ahead and putting them in early, let them take a few lumps if they have to, but then by the time they're junior or senior, they're seasoned and ready to go, and I'm sure that's what Coach Berkner's doing.
They're going to go with a 3-4 defensive look with a 4-deep secondary. What did you see from him on tape from that side of the ball?
Well, the nose guard is a load. He is Jaquavius Kennedy, 6 foot, 285 pounds. He's going to tie up the middle. They're going to drop a linebacker down like we've seen a lot of teams do. A lot of teams run a three-man look defense. Will drop a linebacker down into a 4-man front and try to get quick pressure on the outside. So I look to see that. Secondary is very quick. They can move. They're going to be able to, if they read their keys right, they'll be able to stay with a lot of the routes the Scots will try to be running.
Weather tonight is terrific, and our weather report brought to you by Peggy Sue's Market, fine Texas barbecue since 1951, and it's now available inside New York subs. 86 degrees at kickoff time. We'll be in the mid-70s throughout the evening, and boy, we've got fair skies, and it is just going to be a gorgeous night here at Wildcat Ram Stadium. And we're almost ready for the coin toss. We've got the Highland Park captains out, and the players now coming out of the locker room at the far end of the stadium, and we're almost ready to get this one underway. As you look towards this game, what do you want to see from Highland Park?
I want to see them come out and jump on somebody. Now, it just happens to be Berkner's on the other side. It's not that they got anything against Berkner, but again, when you finish the previous game and kind of have to hold on to win it, it leaves you with a kind of hollow feel. I don't know about you, but left me with I'm glad we won, but a little bit of a hollow feeling like we can do a lot better than this, and not just defensively, but offensively too. I think the Scots, they want to keep pouring it on and and when you go up against somebody, when you got a chance to push their head under and win it, you need to do it.
Highland Park comes into the game averaging 423 yards on the ground. 141 yards is what they average. Through the air, they're averaging 282 yards. And again, only one turnover all season long. That was a fumble. Defensively, the Scots have been able to hold their opponents to 333 yards per game, giving up only 141 on the ground, 192 through the air. They've only allowed 2 100-yard rushers and 2 100-yard receivers this year. And they'll have their work cut out again tonight because the Rams, again, are young, but that doesn't mean they're not good. They're still good, and they're learning to get better.
And the 3-1 record in district shows that. Now, they haven't played anybody great, but still, winning against bad teams is the first step for a team like Berkner. Then they want to jump up and win against a pretty good team. Let's just make sure it's not the Scots tonight. Over there on defense, and you and Jay may have talked about this, several guys out with possible injuries. Alex Prowse, outside linebacker, who played last week, has a separated shoulder, so we probably will not see him tonight.
And we had some questions, a couple of people asking me about William White. He was ejected last week, and we saw that on the replay, and it did not look like targeting, but it was called, and there's no replay in high school football. But there is no situation where you have to sit out the first half of the next game. So he is available to start this game tonight.
Right. The UIL, a lot of people remember college last year and years before would have to sit out if they got ejected second half, have to sit out the first half of the next game. UIL does not go by that, so William White will be available, and he's one of the others going to be chopping at the bit. And, if you watch that replay over and over again, I think most people would agree the key, why the official called it is because the quarterback's helmet came off. If the quarterback's helmet doesn't come off, it doesn't look as bad, and he probably doesn't get ejected.
You've got the captains out at the center of the field for the coin toss, and Highland Park has won the coin toss, and the Scots will get the football to open things up here. And that starting lineup for Highland Park is pretty potent. Again, at quarterback, Brennan Storr, the 6-foot, 205-pound senior, has thrown for 1,283 yards, completing 63% of his passes this year. 15 touchdowns, only 1 interception. Behind him, Jay Cox will get the start at running back. Jay's 5'10", 185 pounds. The senior can do a lot. He is just an outstanding running back, and he can catch the ball out of the backfield as well. The wide receivers, man, you got some great wide receivers. They're big, they're tall. Jackson Heiss and Luke Herring are on the outsides, and then you've got Schrank and Lilly inside. And then watch that offensive line. Lawson Petty at left tackle, Andrew Maroulis at center, and Robert Sweeney, who's really coming along at right tackle. I know, as I start going through here, I was trying not to name everybody, but you have to name everybody because we call them all night long. Jake Watts has performed great. Whit Basso is doing a good job. That whole offensive line has really come together, and they are doing a great job of protecting Storr. They've only allowed 4 sacks this season.
Right, and Coach Grayson Wells, and I don't know if you all had a chance to listen to that interview, but he just gushed about Whit Basso, saying how much better he's getting, how smart he is. He's very reliable, doesn't have blown plays where he just doesn't know what to do. But he's not the biggest guy, he says, but he's really the glue that holds that line together.
Just about ready for this one to get underway. We've got the national anthem coming up, and we will allow you to listen in on that as it's played here at Wildcat Ram Stadium. The presentation of the colors just about to take place. The ROTC from Berkner High School will present the colors, but first the Rams come out of their tunnel onto the home side, the near side where we are on the press box side of the stadium. And we will have the national anthem coming up here momentarily.
And as we call this game, bear with us because Berkner's got those dark green jerseys with black numerals outlined in white, which makes it maybe a little better to see, but maybe not much. So we'll get them to you as quickly, hopefully, as we can.
Presentation of the colors right there again from the ROTC from Berkner High School, and we will have the national anthem, and then we will have football for you. It's a happy Thursday night of high school football here in North Dallas.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the colors for Berkner ROTC are the following cadets. Right guard is Cadet Private Mendoza. Carrying the American flag is commanding tonight's color guard is Cadet Second Lieutenant Strickland. Carrying the Texas flag is Cadet Staff Sergeant Peanut. Carrying school colors is Cadet First Sergeant Aguilar. And the left guard is Cadet Private Ward. Commanding the event this evening, Commander Sergeant Major Neely. Commanding the flag detail is Cadet First Sergeant Alawude. The American flag is being raised up the pole by Rachel Romani, Anthony Calderon, and Kate Neely. Tonight's color guard is under the supervision of retired Sergeant First Class Joey Solis. We ask that you again rise and remove your headgear, cover your hearts, and please join the Berkner Mighty Ram Band as they play and we sing our national anthem.
Got it. Well, our game just about ready to get underway here at Wildcat Ram Stadium. Our kickoff tonight's going to be brought to you, as always, by Davidson Bogle Real Estate. Land is their business. That's Davidson Bogle Real Estate. A referee for tonight's game is Smith Holder. And to tee it up and kick things off for the Berkner Rams will be Matthew Rodriguez as the Rams come out onto the field. Berkner comes in 3-3 on the season. Highland Park trying to go for 6-0 on the season. They have won all 5 of their games this season. Knocked off Marcus, Louisville, Lake Highlands, shut out Irving 63-0, and last week held on to beat Jesuit 35-28. Berkner has opened the season with losses to Wiley East and McKinney. They came back and beat Richardson and Pierce. They lost 42-7 to Lake Highlands, and last week they shut out Irving 31-0.
So trying to pick up some little consistency, I'm sure. Let's not, like I say, let's not make it tonight.
Highland Park's going to send Bo Lilly deep. He'll stand around the 5-yard line to return the kick. Matthews steps into it. It's going to be a short, high kick, and it's going to be fielded there by Luke Herring. He'll call for the fair catch, and Highland Park will have it in pretty good field position as they bring their offense out onto the field.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if Highland Park's offense can start as hot as they did last week. That's about the best I've seen the Scots in some time, how they just ripped through Jesuit opening few drives of the game.
Scots are going to open up with three wide receivers, 2 to the top of your screen, 1 to the bottom of your screen, and they'll go with 2 running backs to start things out. And they're going to send in motion Wilson Axley. They'll hand it. No, they're going to keep it. Quarterback's going to have it, and he'll take it over the right side. And what a huge block that was by Lawson Petty.
Yeah, Lawson Petty. You also have Jake Watts, Whit Basso. Watts and Basso get a pancake. You may have seen Petty. He probably had one too. But nice blocking on that quarterback draw. Coach Allen fakes the bubble screen. It's motion out of the backfield to the right. Storer looks that way, then heads upfield on the draw, picks up nice yardage.
Again, for Highland Park on that offensive line, Lawson Petty and Robert Sweeney are your tackles. Jake Watts and Whit Basso the guards. Andrew Maroulis starts at center for Highland Park. There was an offsides call, and they mark off the 5 yards, so Highland Park will have it 1st and 5.
Defensive ends are wide.
Again, Axley goes in motion. They'll throw it downfield wide open. It's going to be caught, and this is going to be a huge play. Up the right side of the field.
Schrank.
Long run by Grayson Schrank. He gets all the way down into the end zone. Touchdown, Highland Park. 61-yard touchdown throw from Brennan Storer to Grayson Schrank.
Well, great call by Coach Allen. Grayson Schrank runs looks like a little wheel route from his slot positions and ends up in the hole between the deep coverage and the shallow coverage. Brennan Storer hits him, and then Schrank turns on the afterburners, and he gets down to the end zone before he's caught, but he's fallen in. It's touchdown, Highland Park.
Here's Jake Tansey to attempt the extra point, brought to you by Kensington Vanguard National Title. It is up and on the way, and it is good. Our thanks to Brett Kennedy and Peter McGuire over at Kensington Vanguard, as well as thanks to Bob Lilly Promotions. They sponsor Highland Park football, and they've been doing so since 1999.
There's the replay right here. You see Storer putting the ball right in front of the deep coverage. Schrank with an excellent move, outruns one. And he's in the end zone before the safety can get there.
Boy, once he breaks that first tackle, he is off to the races, and Schrank's one of those guys who you're not going to catch if he gets out in open field.
Exactly.
Let's check in along the sidelines tonight. Jay Ellis is down there. His report's brought to you by Willow Bend Mortgage, a way better mortgage. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, that clearly Highland Park is capitalizing on Brennan Storer's running last week. You know, he showed run action there, and then they were able to put 3 receivers all on the right side by running Axley in motion as the short receiver and running the split end deep. If you could get the ball to Grayson Schrank in space, he's going to beat one defender at a time, and he's going to outrun people, and that's what he did right there for the first Highland Park touchdown.
It's a thing of beauty right there. We wondered if Highland Park would jump on Berkner, and they didn't waste any time in doing it. Second play, second rattle out of the box. Now the defense, it's their turn, and they're chomping at the bit, I can guarantee.
Nick Regas has it teed up for Highland Park. He'll advance on it. Number 54 will put his foot into it. This is going to be a high end-over-end kick. It's going to be fielded from the 8-yard line, brought back out to the 20, to the 25, backtracks just a little bit and won't get all the way back out to the 25-yard line. He's going to be taken down. That's Damian Crow on the return for the Berkner Rams, and they'll start at their own 24-yard line.
And that Damian Crow is the freshman that we talked about prior to the start of the game. You see what kind of skills he's got right there. He's got a jolt of speed that he can kick into gear, and Scots really have to shimmy down and make sure they don't let anything outside with him.
Highland Park up on that defensive line. Lewis Montgomery at nose guard. Henry Richter and Judge Ellis are starting at tackles tonight for Highland Park. Here we go. DeMarcus Calhoun at quarterback works out of the shotgun to open this game for Berkner.
William White up on the tight end, man-to-man looks like.
First offensive snap for the Rams, and they've got some running room, and nice off-tackle run that time. Jamari Williams, and he'll take it all the way out to near the 33-yard line before he's going to be taken down. It's a 9-yard run to start things off.
Berkner will run a tight end. They have number 20 lined up there right now. He also starts on defense, Yamil Talib.
Scott's again with that 3-man defensive front.
Keep an eye on number 22. He's slot receiver to the offensive right. William White's on top of him right now at the moment.
They've got a different starting center. That's going to be Adrian Cesar starting at center for Berkner. Nice. This might have been a busted play. It's going to be taken off to the left side. No place to go there. We do have a flag coming in there. And Adam Rourke comes in for Highland Park. There you see number 9 coming in to make the team. Leads the team in tackles with 36 on the season. 23 of those are solo tackles.
And he is solid. When he comes up to make a play, you see a lot of cornerbacks get juked out or throw at air. He brings his arms, his body, everything. Chop block.
Smith Holder, our referee tonight. No microphone on him, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like a crackback block. Somebody, great job right there by Hunter Thornton gets cracked back right there. But Thornton, before he gets cracked, does a great job of getting flat and running parallel to the line of scrimmage, not letting Demarius Crow outside.
That was Cornell McGee IV, who was in there at quarterback this time for the Rams. That'll go as no carry. They'll mark off the penalty yard. So it's going to be second down in, what do we got? Second down in 18? 16.
Rossley and Morse, the inside linebackers. White and Thornton, the outside backers. Look for Sam Webster to play some outside linebacker tonight, too.
Second down and long right now for the Berkner Rams. Now we've got a flag. Somebody jumped on that offensive side of the ball.
Right before the snap, but it wasn't a snap, but the Scott stemmed, meaning they moved laterally in unison, and when they hopped a half a man over, somebody on the Berkner offensive line couldn't hold their water and jumped.
Again, Cornell McGee IV, in at quarterback, 6'6", 200-pound quarterback. He's thrown for 380 yards, has 4 touchdown passes and 4 interceptions thrown. Mark the penalty yardage off, and it's going to be all the way back to the 16-yard line. Quarterback's in trouble this time, wants to throw, and wait, completed it. Was he inbounds? Yeah, they're going to say he was inbounds. Not nearly enough for the first down, though, as it's going to be down around the 30-yard line. Crow on the reception, and it'll be second down and relatively short yardage. Third down.
Judge Ellis, great separation right there. He's putting heavy pressure on McGee right there. McGee rolls out, and Judge is within an eyelash of bringing him down. Can't quite get him. McGee turns the corner, is able to make that throw. Tommy Rossley there to clean up as well.
Third down in relatively short yardage coming up right here for the Rams. Again, they're going to send 4 wide receivers out, 2 to either side. Running back will stand just to the left of the quarterback. Straight drop back, and McGee wants to throw. Completes the pass, and it's going to be down around the 33-yard line. That's going to be short of the first down. It'll be a 4th down situation. Carl Williams escorts him out of bounds. The reception made by Damian Crow.
William White putting heavy pressure on McGee again on the sprint out look. And looks like Berkner will at least send the punt team on the field. We'll see if they go ahead and do it. A lot of times teams playing Highland Park, they don't think they got nothing to lose, and they'll run a fake even on their own end of the field.
Matthew Rodriguez comes on. He'll stand at his own 20-yard line to kick this one away. Deep for the Scots is going to be Jay Cox. It's going to be an end-over-end kick. Cox will field it at the 41-yard line out to midfield. Breaks 1 tackle. He'll get down to the 45-yard line of the Rams. Nice return by Jay. Anytime he gets the ball, there's a chance he could go. Especially when he catches it on a dead run like that.
Yeah, if the punter doesn't have hang time, Jake is doubly dangerous, because if the ball gets to him fast and he can get some some speed built up before he turns the corner. He's incredibly dangerous. We saw that out in Irving when he reverses his field completely. Scott's come out, got great field position, Berkner 45.
That was a 14-yard return by Jay Cox. He'll stay in the game at running back. He'll block for his quarterback who fires downfield. That's going to be an incomplete pass. Maybe a little bit of a mix-up on which wide receiver he was going to, but it'll be second down and 10.
Yeah, good protection that time. That time Jay Cox had to come from the left back position all the way across to the right, make a cut block to give Storer time to throw, but he did it very nicely.
Even when Storer doesn't connect with his receiver, it's a beautiful pass.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a rocket.
Yep.
Nobody there to catch it, but he throws well.
You know, he is so much better than last year.
Schrank, who goes in motion, they'll pitch it to him. Around the right-hand corner, this will go down as a pass. Turns the corner down to the 37-yard line before he's going to get rolled up over there on the far side of the field. And the Scots will have third down and short yardage.
Excuse me, Russell. Give credit to offensive right tackle Robert Sweeney. Does a good job of hooking the defensive end just enough to get Schrank around the corner on the jet sweep.
Scots are 44% converting third downs this season. Let's see what they do right here on third and about 3.
Got possible stabber. Now he backs off. Lawson Petty pointing at him.
Cox in the backfield. Again, Storer out of the gun. Marula snaps it back. Has time, now in trouble. He's going to run with this football, and he's going to be very close to the first down. I think he did get it. Let's see where they mark him out of bounds. Right at the 35-yard line, I think he got it.
Great escape move by Brennan Storer right here. Good protection early on. Lawson Petty gets an inside move, but caves his man all the way down. Storer steps to the left, now back to the right, able to find enough for the first down.
Replays this quarter brought to you by Origin Bank. Every great story begins with an origin. 8:31 to play here in the first quarter. Scots are up 7-0. They scored on their opening drive. There's a swing pass out to Schrank, trying to outrun the cornerback to the corner, and he does so. Picks up almost 9 yards on the play. That's Jake Harrington who made the tackle in at a middle linebacker.
Well, Coach Allen makes it so difficult on defensive coordinators and how they stretches the field. You see him stretch it to the right. Now they stretch it to the left. And then ultimately they come back and go over the top and stretch it deep. And it's a lot of ground to cover for a defensive coordinator, especially with the athletes the Scots have.
Grayson Schrank already 3 catches, 77 yards here in the first quarter. Second and short yardage now for the Scots.
Man front.
4 wide receivers. Quarterback's in trouble. We'll run with it. We'll pick up the first down. Storer's going to get hit down at the 21-yard line. And the first man to get there to him is going to be Richmond Oguchukwu. He's just a sophomore. His brother plays up on the defensive line. His brother's name is Justice. It's a senior.
Maybe we just go with Justice. And but you did a great job with his name. At least as I understand it. All right.
Here we go. Highland Park's got another first down right here. Scott's moving it from right to left. That's her sixth play of the drive coming up right here.
Defensive ends are way wide. Here comes the backer blitz.
Storer's going to loft this one downfield. Luke Herring's got it on a crossing pattern. He'll beat the defender down to the out-of-bounds area, then turns it in. And he's in. Touchdown. Took a long time before they signaled it, but it's going to be a 21-yard touchdown catch. That touchdown brought to you by Bob Lilly Promotions, supporting the Scots since 1999. That looked like it hurt.
That looked like it hurt, but it brings back memories of Matthew Stafford against Texas High in the over in Tyler, going for that end zone, extending up high, getting his feet clipped out from under, and yet still scoring.
Tansey with the extra point. It is up and on the way, and the Scots have a 14-0 lead. That extra point brought to you by Brett Kennedy and Peter McGuire with Kensington Vanguard National Title.
Let's see this replay if we can here just a second. I bet it's coming up. You see, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. The backers blitz on a fire. Look where they vacate. Luke Herring runs that little crossing route. It's like Coach Allen knew what was coming. He called the crossing route to Herring. Storer hits him right there. And there's no linebacker to take him. And Herring says, thank you very much.
Watch this. Watch this.
You're not keeping me out. Whoa.
He reached in there. Yeah. He had the presence to reach that football back in bounds. Make sure they saw that he broke the plane.
Broke the plane, exactly.
Replays this quarter brought to you by Origin Bank. Every great relationship has an origin story. And Pat Sauer returns after going to a wedding last Friday night. Pat Sauer, I think, has got a special guest.
Well, Pat tried to come back and help us out a little bit. We didn't get to do it, but we're glad you're back tonight.
Okay. Oh, we found the cameraman. I've got Fred Storr here down to visit from
Tulsa.
Yeah. So, Fred, how fun has it been to get to watch your grandson, Brennan Storr, play for the Scots here at Highland Park and all over the state?
Well, it's fantastic. We do it often.
Yeah. So, you've got another one coming up, an 8th grader, right?
Yeah, Dell.
Dell. Okay. Well, Fred, I appreciate your time. Go Scots.
Thank you.
Yard line number 1 is the guy who caught that and then stepped out of bounds. We do have a flag thrown up there as well. That's Kobe Foreman who stepped out of bounds. And right at the 9-yard line, there is a flag on the play as well. So let's see what this is going to be all about.
And that's one of those deals when you play a young kid. Kobe Foreman is a sophomore, and I'm sure the coaches are talking to him right now about if the ball is kicked near the sideline, let it go out of bounds as a penalty against the other team. And he fielded it and stepped out of bounds. Probably, not the thing you want to do, and he'll learn. Right.
Call was against the kick return team. That'll move the ball all the way back inside the 5-yard line.
As Jay noted off the air, he could have waved his hand for a fair catch and they get the ball in the 25, but instead, if you field it and step out of bounds, it's done.
Let's check in with Jay along the sidelines for Willow Bend Mortgage. Jay, you want to expound on that a bit?
Yeah, I happened to be right on the sideline where the ball was going, and that kick by Nicholas Regas was really amazing. He did it last week as well. It looks like it's going out of bounds, but he has just a little bit of a draw on it to keep it in bounds, and it's an extremely effective way of pinning an opponent deep in their territory. He did it tonight, and he did it last week as well. I think that's going to be a helpful weapon for the Scots as they move forward this year.
Sideline reports for Willow Bend Mortgage, your home for a way better mortgage. Again, from deep in their own territory, handoff, nice. And there is not much there. Maybe grind out 3 yards on that play. Robert Ramey is in there to make the tackle. It's going to be a 3-yard pickup.
Up front, now we got Carlson, we've got Montgomery, and we've got Spencer Brown, Rossley, and Remy now at the inside linebackers.
It's Caden Alcorn who carried the football right there, number 3 for the Berkner Rams. And again, that ought to be illegal. Dark green unis with black numbers.
I'm telling you, from a TV or spotting standpoint, it doesn't get much harder than that. If you're on TV, you can see it. If you're watching TV, you can see it fairly well. From the press box, not so much.
Here we go on 2nd down. They'll hand it off again, trying to get outside. Highland Park doing a great job right there. Coming in to make the tackle is William White. Yep. He reached up there and just drug the guy down. On the carry right there was Dante Doyle.
Oh, look at that grip by White. He gets him by the back of his jersey, and all he's got is a fistful of jersey, and he's still able to bring him down with just the strength in his right arm.
William White came into the game with 31 tackles on the season, a couple of quarterback pressures, and a quarterback sack as well. It was a loss of 1 on the play, 3rd down, with the ball at the 7-yard line.
Let's see if Coach Leidner dials it up. Back or step up as if they're coming. Now drop.
Straight drop back pass. Oh! McGee wants to throw it, in trouble. Shakes one tackle, shakes another tackle. He's going to run around the left-hand side. He's very close to the 1st down marker before he gets pushed out on the far side of the field by Adam Rourke. Adam lost his helmet, may have to leave the game for at least 1 play.
Well, I tell you what, 2 guys almost had him. You'll see here in just a second. Spencer Brown coming from the offensive left, misses right there. Tommy Rossley thinks he's got him. He misses right there, and Adam Rourke is left to clean it up. Helmet pops off, and as you said, maybe he has to sit.
4th down coming up right here. 2 yards needed for a first, and considering where they are on the field, Berkner Rams decide they're going to punt it away. Matthew Rodriguez comes out. His punt was returned 14 yards by Jay Cox last time, who brought it across the 50 and set his Highland Park offense up in really good field position. This is going to go straight up.
Yep, short.
Doesn't travel very far. And it takes a Highland Park bounce. It'll be downed inside the 25-yard line. And the Scots offense has another set of another great starting field position on this series.
Well, that's one of the tough things when you're with you're a team, when you've got a team like Berkner that's young, but you know, they've got a lot of work to do still. The last thing you really have time to work on a lot of times is the kicking game, and then that better not be the case, or you'll put yourself in a much worse situation, just like Berkner did there.
Scott's on a pass play out to the left side. That's going to be complete out to Bo Lilly, his first catch of the night.
Good to see Bo get involved.
4-yard completion for the Scots. Brennan Storr now has gone over 100 yards passing. Puts him closing in on 1,400 yards for the season.
Again, but with very wide defensive ends, 5 techniques, running lanes inside.
Storr's in trouble this time. He's going to be sacked. Only the 5th time this season that he's been taken down. And coming in there to make the sack, Yamil Talib came off the defensive line and shot out of there like he was shot out of a rifle. He got back there, and once he got a hold of Brennan's jersey, just wouldn't let go.
Well, Talib playing, there was the right defensive end, and Wilson actually trying to get across from the left side. Again, we talked about that. When you line up on the left and you try to get over to the right, a lot of times it's very difficult to do, and Talib just beat him to the punch right there.
3rd down and long now for the Scots. Storr wants to throw. This time he does have time. Looks downfield. He's got Lilly wide open. Bo Lilly at about the 13 yards after catch. Takes him all the way down to the 8-yard line. And Highland Park's got a 1st and goal to go. Ronnie Lampkin came in to make the tackle and save the touchdown for the Rams.
All right, Lilly coming on a crossing route from his right slot position. Brennan looks left, waits on Lilly to clear. Lilly's waving his hands like nobody's on me. And he able to make the reception on the left side and then take it down inside the 10. Scott's 1st and goal.
21-yard pass completion for Highland Park. Now they're inside the Shelby American red zone. Handoff to Jay Cox. Runs into a big green wall right there. And that's going to go as a no gainer. First man to get to him is big Jaquavius Kennedy, the nose guard.
Yeah, it looked like right there, defensive end slanting down right into the play. Well, the thing that Berkner's doing, they're lining up as a 5-shade outside and then knifing inside, trying to take away what looks to be a big opening.
Kennedy anchors that defensive line at 285 pounds.
He's a load.
Here we go. 2nd and goal to go now for the Scots. Again, Axley's in the back, and here comes the option play. Quarterback's going to keep it. Storr will take it. Maybe pick up a couple. He's going to get maybe inside the 7-yard line. Looks like it's only going to be about a 1-yard pickup for Highland Park. And now 3rd and goal to go.
It looked like Robert Sweeney, a little ginger right here. Storr gets caught from behind and wasn't anticipating that. But Berkner does a good job right there to catching the Highland Park quarterback.
Scots are 2 for 2 converting 3rd downs tonight. Let's see what they do here on 3rd and goal to go. Ball spotted to the right hash mark, and oh my goodness, Storr got slammed to the turf. The sack made as coming off the edge for the Rams was
the outside linebacker, I think.
Rasheed Harris, number 21.
It was 12 or 21. It may have been Ugu Chukwa.
We'll get a look at it on the replay.
It was unblocked, either outside linebacker or cornerback, because it was an unblocked rusher, and that's a situation where Brendan Storr, for his own health, needs to get rid of the ball.
Jake Tansey's going to come on and try the field goal. This is going to be a 32-yard field goal attempt, and it is good. He's now 3 for 3 on field goals this season. That's his longest of the year. And Highland Park extends their lead out 17-0 on the Berkner Rams.
Maybe we get a replay of that last play where Storr got sacked. And get a lowdown on who it was.
Defensive left.
That might have been Yamil Talib.
Yep. I thought the 5 technique Talib was blocked by Sweeney, and this was an outside linebacker, but I'm not sure.
Nevertheless, goes down for 2 sacks for the Berkner defense. Highland Park only had been sacked 4 times coming into the game. Minute 45 to play here in our opening session, in our opening frame. 17-0 Scots lead. Kickoff brought to you by Davidson Bogle Real Estate. Land is their business. Nick Regas again.
Let's see if Regas can plop that ball down right at the 20-yard line on the far side again. This time he goes to the left.
And this is going to come to the near side. This is going to be Jamari Williams from the 3-yard line. Williams will bring it right up the middle, up the right hash mark, and across the 25 all the way out to about the 29-yard line. And that's where the Rams will start with it. They're trying to erase that goose egg. Down 17-0 to the Scots. 26 yards on the return by Jamari Williams.
Like Charlie Barton is in there, if I'm not mistaken, making that play. Judge Ellis, Blake Andrews, and Spencer Brown, or excuse me, Henry Richter.
The Rams have only run 6 offensive plays. They've gone 3 and out twice. Let's see what they're going to total of 38 yards of offense. Play action fake. They'll throw it out to the
He's fast.
Far left side, and turning it up and getting downfield is Damian Crow. And all the way down to about the 45-yard line. He's got a first down. Dotreve was there to help on the tackle. Hunter Thornton was out there for Highland Park as well. There you see Thornton, number 23 for the Scots.
Thornton covering a lot of ground right there. You can see, again, this is what Berkner loves to do. The bubble screens, the hitch routes, get the ball in space to their athletes, and hope for somebody on the Highland Park side to miss a tackle.
Again, they're going to go with 4 wide receivers, 2 to either side. Short side of the field is the top of your screen. Quarterback's going to fake the handoff, wants to throw, and it's going to be incomplete. They were trying a little razzle-dazzle right there. He was trying to get the pass out to Kobe Foreman.
Ethan Bird in coverage right there for the Scots, but the Berkner quarterback, you know, he reaches a point where you think he's going to run the ball, but he's still got the option to throw. He's behind the line of scrimmage, evades the tackler and tries to hit his receiver out there, but whose back was turned.
And that's one of those situations where a right-handed quarterback's running to the left, and
hard.
Not that easy to make that throw.
No, it's difficult. McGee in the game, probably a little more than we thought we would see him. He's the senior for Berkner at quarterback.
McGee out of the gun. Is running back there, and will give right side pickup of about 4, almost 5 yards on the pickup.
Good. Go ahead, Russell. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, got a nice offensive line push to give him a little bit of space.
Yeah, but Judge Ellis doing a heck of a job right there, squeezing down. He engaged his offensive tackle, saw the running play coming inside. Blake Andrews was doing his best to hold up against the double team, and Ellis squeezed it down to where there was no room to run without giving away a cutback.
That was a 4-yard gain by Jamari Williams. And coming into the game now is Dante Doyle along with Caden Alcorn. And a timeout's going to be taken by the Berkner Rams. Coming up at the end of the first quarter, we've got a special message. It was kind of a tough week around Highland Park High School this week. We'll tell you more about what happened and send out our thoughts and prayers to not only the Highland Park cheerleaders, but the entire Highland Park community. We'll talk a little more about that coming up in just a couple of minutes. Scots up 17-0, as you see right there. And the Berkner Rams, under the direction of Coach Trey Bryant, he's in his second season with the Rams. He came over after spending time as an assistant at McKinney and associate head coach there. He was at Plano West. You might remember he played here at Berkner, graduated in 2005, and four-year letterman for the Baylor Bears, then went on to play with the Atlanta Falcons. Played in the indoor league for a little while as well.
Did he play with Colin Allred?
He may have.
Yep.
May have.
Yep, here's
quarterback's going to keep it right up the middle, and not enough for the first down, but he did grind out nearly 5 yards right there. And Jack Morris is in there to help make the tackle. Judge Ellis is in there as well. Clock will continue to roll, and it looks like they're going to keep the offense on the field right here.
I'd love to get the chance. I hope you have a chance at halftime to listen to Jack Morris and Rossley along with Grayson Schrank. Great young men. It's great to hear a sophomore talk about getting the opportunity to play, and to a senior saying the same things from his perspective. Excuse me.
Brings us to the end of the first quarter. It's been all Highland Park in this first quarter of play. This is the first time that the Rams have gotten into Highland Park territory. And again, as we talked about, kind of a tough week around Highland Park this past week. And we would like to offer up our thoughts and our prayers for the Highland Park cheerleader, senior Grace Sheep. She was critically injured in a car wreck on Saturday. She remains hospitalized. There was a prayer vigil at school this week. Many people turned out for that, and many former Scots from all over the world have been sending in their thoughts and prayers for Grace. And again, our thoughts and our prayers for Grace Sheep. And the t-shirts that those cheerleaders are wearing, I don't know if you can see them, but they say Amazing Grace across there.
That's a picture of the prayer vigil at Highlander Stadium last week. It had a lot of people there on Tuesday night after the 7th grade game that showed up to pray and to voice their support for Grace.
Here we go. Run around the right side for the Berkner Rams, and they're off to the races, and that's going to be Jamari Williams who takes it in for a touchdown, but this may be coming back. It was a 4th down situation. Jamari Williams breaks it outside the numbers and takes it in for the touchdown, but a flag is back near the original line of scrimmage.
Well, you see the speed Berkner's got. They can turn the corner. Let's see what the call is. Holding, probably?
Smith Holder, the referee, said holding against the Berkner Rams. That's going to bring back this touchdown run.
Usually you don't see the Highland Park outside backers get hooked unless somebody's holding. And that was indeed the case right there. Yep.
Let's check in with Jay Ellis. You had a really good look at that, Jay. What'd you see?
You know, it just so happens the defensive player I was watching most closely was the one who got held that play. Judge Ellis at left end did another good job like last week of getting his arms up and sort of wailing and making sure that the referee could not miss the grip that the offensive tackle had on his jersey and shoulder pads.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you think the official ought to see this. Well, there's a lot to see out there. If you don't flail like that, the official's going to miss it. So great job by Judge in making the official aware I'm being held.
Here comes Matthew Rodriguez to punt it away. He's averaging only 19 yards a punt. Jay Cox calls for the fair catch and will make that fair catch right at the 34-yard line. And the Scots offense will be back out onto the field with a 17-0 lead. Coming up at halftime, we'll hear from our players that Jim had a chance to catch up to and talk with. And you talked to a couple of defensive players this week.
I talked to Tommy Rossley, who had that monster game against Jesuit with 18 tackles in all, as well as quarterback pressures and a sack. Talked to Jack Morris. Normally we don't talk to sophomores a lot, but it's just hard to avoid Jack Morris because he continues to play so well. And then offensively, talked to Grayson Schrank and got some of his thoughts on how difficult it was to go through that knee injury last year and how thankful he is now to be back.
Scots have first down. Here we go on a reverse play. This is Schrank.
Here we go.
He's looking for some running room. He's got a person in front of him, and he gets a great block.
That's Petty.
That was Lawson Petty leading the way for Grayson Schrank. Takes him all the way across the 50-yard line. It is a pass completion, and Highland Park's got a huge first down.
There may be a flag back here, two officials conversing, but it's got to be a great feeling for Grayson Schrank to turn that corner and look up and have Lawson Petty knocking down defenders in front of him.
Blocking below the waist is the call. And that's going to bring this one back. So Highland Park and Berkner each have had big plays called back because of penalties. And this will move the football back inside the 25, down to about the 22.
Now, it's not a new rule, but the rule that's being emphasized this year is the only can block below the waist in the tackle box, and at least where the flag was thrown, that was a little bit outside of it.
Scott's on another first down, but they've got first and long. This time, Storr rolls around the left side. He's got a blocker in front of him, clears a little bit of path, and he'll dive down to the 30-yard line. Second down and long now for the Scots.
Well, that's a uniquely designed play by Coach Allen right there. The left tackle and left guard, Watts and Lawson Petty, pull right, which generally draws the defense that way. Storr goes to the left and is looking like he's wanting to throw it over there, and very, very unique design right there.
Second down and 13 now for the Scots. Storr to throw. Looks downfield.
Pressure.
Shows the football. Now he's going to tuck it and run with it. 35, and he'll slide down at about the 36-yard line. Scott's going to face third and long coming up right here on the season on third and long. Scott's only converting at a rate of 35%.
You know, one of the things I know you remember, Russell, we used to talk about John Stephen Jones, about how he could feel the pressure, and he kind of had his innate ability to know when it's time to go. Storr is getting a little of that too. You see him, he knows right when he's got to move, where he's got to adjust to, where the open lanes are, and you can tell his innate feel for it is getting better and better.
Watch Sean Ballard, number 7, was showing blitz, and here he comes on a blitz. There's a pass downfield, right side.
Whoa.
Jackson Heiss incomplete. Contact, but no flag.
I thought Heiss was going to go up and get that one right there, but good coverage by the Berkner defender.
Scots will have to kick this one away. Jake Tansey's going to come on. He's averaging 34 yards a punt this season. Tansey's going to stand back at around his 22-yard line to get a foot into it.
Let's see if Tansey kicks away from the single deep return man.
I believe that is Foreman, who's back to do the return chores.
Yep, it bounces, hits the ground.
He'll let it bounce, and Highland Park's going to let it roll inside the 20-yard line. And for Jake Tansey, that's going to be his third punt that's going to land inside the 20-yard line.
Scots do a great job on that rugby kick, and that's why teams go to it, is because it gets the ball rolling down the field, and you pick up so much more yardage than you do if you just do a normal traditional punt.
47 yards on the Jake Tansey punt. And the Rams will start
all right
from the 18-yard line. We'll go down to Pat here in just a couple of minutes.
Clarkson, Montgomery, Spencer Brown up front for the Scots. Rolling through. Rossley and Morris, the inside linebackers. White and Thornton in the outside.
Cornell McGee, the fourth at quarterback. He'll work out of the shotgun. Jamari Williams will stand just to his right. Coming into the game at a tight end position is Jeff Harrington. And they're going to give it to Williams.
Oh, yeah.
Williams starts inside, then gets hooked and dropped. And is only going to pick up 2 yards. That's Lewis Montgomery, the nose guard, who reached up there and grabbed him.
And Montgomery does a tremendous job right there. He's getting double teamed, and he fights through both of them and is able to flow to the right side and stick his big paw out there and bring down the Berkner running back. It's hard to do at the nose guard position, probably harder than at any other position on the field because you get doubled so much of the time.
Been a rough night offensively for the Rams. They've only been to Highland Park territory one time, and they just did get across the 50-yard. 50-yard line. They've only got 63 yards of total offense, and now we've got somebody on that offensive line jumping again. This is going to be a penalty against the Rams.
Highland Park defensive front stems again, which means they, in unison, move about a foot or two to the left, and when they jump, the Berkner offensive line does the same.
Move the football back to the 15-yard line. Williams this time to the left of the quarterback. Got two receivers wide at the top of your screen, one wide out to the left side. Here's Williams trying to get around the right side. He gets hog-tied right there at the 14-yard line. May have lost a yard. Nope. Mike McAbee, our statistician, says he actually gained 2 yards. Tommy Rossley was in there on the tackle along with Carlson.
Yep. Kyle Carlson, big, tall, lanky defensive end. May remember him last year playing a lot of nose guard. Probably now want him on that defensive end. Coach Burt wants him out there to get some quick pressure on the quarterback in a 3rd and long situation.
Rams are 0 for 3 on 3rd down conversions tonight. 3rd and 11 coming up right here.
Here come the backers.
McGee wants to throw. He's in trouble. Flushed out of the pocket. Here comes the rush, and he throws incomplete. And coming in there after him was Tommy Rossley. Tommy Rossley was chasing him down, made him throw earlier than he wanted to.
See, Coach Leidner brings up the blitz with bringing the backers inside, looping the defensive end outside. Rossley flushes McGee out of the pocket and forces an errant throw.
Replays this hour, this quarter, brought to you by Henry S. Miller, the right call for commercial real estate and a proud supporter of Highland Park Scots. 4th down situation. Here's Matthew Rodriguez again. Highland Park should get pretty good field position out of this.
Whoa.
Boy, there comes the rush. Not sure how they didn't block that. Jay Cox with a fair catch at the Rams' 44-yard line.
I don't know how William White missed that. We're going to have to look at the but the ball must have gone right through his hands.
Boy, look at number 11 coming in right there.
He just missed it. He was trying to be safe and not rough the punter if he missed, which is wise, but he missed it by a hair.
I believe Pat Sauer has a special guest. Let's go down to the sideline and check in with Pat.
Hey guys, we've got Ellen Rourke, Adam Rourke's mom. It's been so fun to watch him play for the last 3 years, but I'm most proud of that National Merit semifinalist. What do you think about that, Mom?
Well, we're really excited. He worked hard for that.
Yeah, it's nearly impossible. He must be a genius. But we sure enjoy watching him play football. It is so fun, isn't it?
It is. He studies more football film than he studies schoolwork.
Oh, well, that's a smart kid. But anyway, hey, good job. Thank you so much, Ellen.
Thank you very much, Pat. Our sideline reports and our parents' cam brought to you by Willow Bend Mortgage, your site for a way better mortgage.
And those of you who don't know, the defense meets every Thursday or Friday night, Thursday or Wednesday night, depending on when the Scots play, at Adam Rourke's house. The entire defense comes over and eats and watches film for about an hour and a half. And they've all said, yeah, I interview a lot of them over at the house on Zoom. They said, we've got a special room for interviews. So Adam, obviously they love doing it, but it's also very helpful, too, to build that camaraderie and teamwork.
We've got a timeout on the field. It's been taken by Berkner. So 7:44 to play in the first half. And, of course, coming up at halftime, don't forget, we've got the Bells and the Highlander Band. And we'll also take a look at first half stats. Only 5 first downs for Highland Park here in the first half, and only.
We see you because we are you. Entrepreneurs banking entrepreneurs. As one of the few Texas banks participating in the Main Street Lending Program, Vista Bank is helping small businesses put America back to work. Isn't it time you join the over 1,500 new PPP clients and make your move to a bank that hustles as hard as you do? Vista Bank. People first.
Boy, nice play right there by Grayson Schrank. You had a chance to watch it as he took that little flip pass around the left side.
Watch
Here's the Henry S. Miller
pull.
Replay.
And get some big beef out in front of him.
This time Storrs in trouble, and Storrs going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. This is going to be a loss all the way back at the 45-yard line. He just couldn't get away that time. The rush was coming hard on him. Anthony Jones is going to get credit for that sack. Number 10.
Had probably 3 other Berkner Rams there. Don't like to see Storr out there vulnerable like that.
It's going to be a loss of 9 on the play. Brings up 3rd and long yardage for the Scots. Seven sacks on the quarterback, on the Highland Park quarterback this season. There's that 3-man defensive front. This time Storr to throw. He's going long right side. Has Heiss and went up and got it. He caught it. They're going to say he's out of bounds.
Yeah, his ball came out late at the end anyway. Nice
pass though.
Nice pass, and Heiss high points the ball perfectly, even though he's bracketed by 2 defenders. Berkner has some underneath coverage, and then a safety reaching hard over the top to try to sandwich him, but still Heiss gets up, first guy to get the hands on it, and he's going to catch more of those than he drops.
Highland Park looks like they're going to go for it on 4th down and 11. No, Storr is going to step back, and I think he's going to punt it away. It's a high snap. He has to go back and jump on top of it. Well, it's not a turnover, but it's a mistake, and Highland Park has set up the Rams in Highland Park territory.
That's a good thing Storr was able to get his hand on her. That thing would have squirted back another 20 yards. It had a lot of mustard on it. And, I mean, we talk about it. The snap problems are something you never think about until they happen.
Loss of 9 on the play, and the Berkner Rams get the ball at the Scots 46.
Scott's defense going to be called upon to snuff this out and not give Berkner any momentum going into half.
McGee in there at quarterback. Straight drop back. Wants to throw. Goes left side. Long pass incomplete. Was trying to get it to Kobe Foreman. Way over his head. This is a Rams team that averages 277 yards passing. Averages 147 yards passing per game. They rush. They have 34 yards passing tonight. They rush for on average 220 yards a game. They've got 65 tonight.
Scott's defense doing the job.
65 yards of total offense, only 31 yards rushing.
Offensive front again doing their job.
This time 2 running backs in the backfield. Fake the handoff. Quarterback wants to come to the near side and has to get rid of it. Threw it away.
And that's Hunter. Nope. Yeah, that's Hunter Thornton right there, putting quick pressure. And again, you see the RPO, the run pass option that Berkner's running. Quarterback fakes his own dive, then rolls out to his right. You think he's going to keep it all the way, but he does have a pass option if he's got somebody open.
Our quarter replays brought to you by Henry S. Miller, the premier full-service commercial real estate company in Texas and a proud supporter of the Scots. Methods change, principles endure, service and integrity since 1914.
The heat. Judge Ellis at nose guard.
McGee flushed out. McGee throws downfield, has a receiver. It's caught down inside the 10-yard line. First down and goal to go for the Rams inside the 5-yard line.
McGee is running for his life, throws up a prayer, and it's answered right there inside the 10-yard line.
Believe that is Damian Crow who made the catch and gets that big first down.
Here comes Remy to challenge the throw, just throws it up. And the Berkner receiver high points it a little better than the Highland Park defender. That's Damian Crow, the freshman who we talked about pregame. Again, you see the skills he's got.
48-yard pass completion sets up the Rams inside the 5-yard line of the Highland Park Scots. Here we go. Handoff. Running play up the middle. Caden Alcorn. There's a flag thrown. He gets stopped at about the 2. Rossley and Ellis are there to combine on the tackle for Highland Park. Let's see what the flag's going to be right here.
Looked like there was a huge hole over the right side of the Berkner offensive line, but Rossley and Ellis closed it very quickly. It's going to have a penalty. False start against Berkner. Well, they've shot themselves in the foot.
Still stays first down and goal to go from the 9.
Sniffer back.
Sets off to the left side. Let's see what McGee does with it. 2 wide receivers. Gives it up the middle. This is going to be Alcorn. Another flag comes out. Alcorn is stopped right about the 5.
No.
Procedure call, I think.
Nose guard Lewis Montgomery making the play there. Backward, I went almost all the way by him before Montgomery reacted late and said, "No, you don't. You're not going right there. Come back here."
Another false start against the Rams.
Boy, just you have promising field position. You just 10 yards and penalties kills you.
First and goal to go now from the 14-yard line. Again,
nice.
handed off. Not much place for Caden Alcorn. Couldn't find a seam. Highland Park comes up with the football, but I think they're going to say Alcorn was down. Judge Ellis, Tommy Rossley combined to bring Caden Alcorn down. He's going to have to come out of the game after he lost his helmet.
Boy, look at this right here. Rossley just fills that gap very nicely. He said, you're not going in my gap.
Put the ball down on that right hash mark. And second and goal to go now from the 11. Quickly, they're going to get a wide receiver in there.
Play clock's down to 4. They're going to snap it quickly.
They did get it snapped. Handoff. This is Jamari Williams trying to get around the right side, but it's just one big scrum right there. Among those in on the tackle, Lewis Montgomery is in there. Tommy Rossley is in there. And Jay Ellis, excuse me.
Jay, you haven't got any eligibility left. Jay, don't do that. Don't go out there.
Judge Ellis is in there. I figured I would say that, at some point of this.
Well, the stemming the Scots are doing still seems to be bothering Berkner. Any last-second movement gives the Scots an advantage.
Rams are just 1 for 5 converting third downs. This is third and goal to go from the 9-yard line. They send a man in motion, and quarterback rolls right, throws into the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown, but there's a flag thrown. It is Jamari Williams who made the catch, number 4. And there is a flag thrown. I'm not sure what it is.
Hard sprint out by McGee that time. And generally, that's going to be a holding penalty because okay.
Illegal man downfield, I believe, is called. That's going to be the second time tonight that the Rams have scored and a penalty has brought it back.
Let's see if we can pick up which lineman it is. Not in the picture there anyway. He skirted by him quickly. You see the official pulling out his flag, looking right in front of him, so he had a good shot at it.
It's going to be third and goal to go. Put the ball down at the 14-yard line. Play clock goes down to 13 seconds, continues to roll. Crow's in a slot on the far right side. Watch him. He's the talented freshman. Here comes the blitz. They get there. Pass is complete. Rossley is there to bring him down immediately along with Carl Williams. Judge Ellis was out there as well. It was number 30 and not number 40 who was in there on the tackle, Carl Williams.
Yeah, it's Ellis and Carl Williams right there with Rossley. Looks like Rossley putting heavy pressure along with William White on the quarterback.
Well, it looks like they're going to try a field goal here. This will be a 31-yard attempt. Matthew Rodriguez, the sophomore kicker, will kick this one from the right hash mark.
Keep an eye on Adam Rourke. He's got a knack for blocking these.
There's going to be a timeout taken right here. Timeout's going to be taken with 3:31 to go in the first half. 17-0. Highland Berkner called the timeout. Believe that Pat Sauer has got another parent that he has tracked down. Let's go down to the stands and see if we can find Pat.
Just like a
Scots
cougar.
fans, we're down here at the 35-yard line. I've got Mick Rossley, Tommy's dad, and how fun is this to have all this Highland Park history and for your boys to be playing here?
It's been awesome. We're just getting right into the thick of the district, and I think our team's we're undefeated. I mean, my gosh, well, what more would you want? And it's been a tough week for everybody in our community, and so to get out here and let some frustration out or some emotion out is probably a good thing for all of us.
That is very well said, Mick. It's tough, and we wish them all the best, and prayers go out to the family. And anyway, Mick, thank you so much. I appreciate everything you do for our community.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
Hey,
here goes a 31-yard field goal attempt. The kick is up and on the way, and it does just get over the crossbar. So it's good. So the Rams get on the scoreboard for the first time tonight. And it is a 17-3 Highland Park lead with 3:24 to play in the quarter, in the half.
I was hoping Pat would check with Mick about what was it like playing quarterback back in the day for the Scots, for Coach Beavers.
Halftime, the Highland Park Band will play. The Bells will perform. We'll have look at some of the first half numbers and talk a little bit about what we've seen in this first half of football. It's been all Highland Park. The Berkner Rams have been relatively stagnant on offense. Highland Park's defense has done a really nice job. They had a first and goal to go from around the 4-yard line, and the defense held them to just 3.
Well, we need to start keeping, and maybe Mike McAbee's already doing this, but how many goal line stands, inside the 10 of the Scots had this year? I know it's 4, maybe 5.
Well, I do have the red zone numbers here someplace. I have them.
This would
on
be
a different piece of paper.
Opportune place for an onside kick, possibly for Berkner. Keep an eye out.
Bo Lily's deep. Davidson Bogle Real Estate brings you the kickoff. Matthew Rodriguez, the normal kicker, but this time it looks like it's going to be a new kicker, and we don't have a number 35.
Here we go.
Here comes Lilly from the 11-yard line, out across the 20, 25, and he'll get out near the 28, 29-yard line, and that's where the Scots will set up their offense yet again.
That was number 21 making the play. Rashad Harris for Berkner. Just got a shoestring tackle on Lilly, middle of the field. Let's see if the Scots can mount a drive and take the big-time momentum into the halftime break with a 3-touchdown lead. What was the penalty? I didn't hear the official. Let's see if he's going to make a call.
He doesn't have a microphone tonight, and he makes his signals way too early before we even know a flag's been thrown. There's a quarterback draw. Storr is going to get hit and brought down right at the 20-yard line. Coming in there to make the tackle is the nose guard, Jaquavius Kennedy.
Good block out front by Jake Watts and Lawson Petty right there. But we're going to have a flag.
Holding against Highland Park.
Yeah, Berkner's defensive line, you get some heavy movement at the snap of the ball, and a lot of times it will take you by surprise as an offensive lineman and force you into a little bit of a hold.
Great picture right there. The Highland Park cheerleaders with their Amazing Grace t-shirts on. Thinking, praying, sending all good wishes out to Grace Sheep, Highland Park cheerleader who was critically injured in a car accident last weekend.
Here comes a blitz.
Nicely to throw as a receiver, and it's just off of Grayson Schrank's hands.
Nicely picked up that time by everybody up front. Sweeney, Basso, Maroulis, all picked it up. The Highland Park running back was there as well, picking up the end. Or the outside linebacker.
Highland Park's got a long way to go. 2nd down and 15. They need to get out to the 25 for a 1st down.
Changing the play. Cox flips.
Option play comes from the near side. They get it out to Jay Cox. He's got a little bit of a seam. Can't quite hit it. Gets his feet knocked out from under him. He'll fall forward to the 10-yard line, and that's Ronnie Lampkin who will get credit, but it's a 3-yard pickup for the Scots.
.238 to go in the half.
Replay is brought to you by Henry S. Miller.
Trips look to the left.
This time Storr rolls out to the left side. Throws, and it's caught. 1st down, Highland Park. That's Bo Lilly who made the catch. Out at the 30-yard line, he was taken out immediately. And they'll move the chains. That'll get you out.
Brent Storr showing a lot of courage right here, rolling hard to his left. Can't get his body around to the last minute, but when he does, throws a bullet to Bo Lilly, and then he gets rocked by the defense, but he took the shot in exchange for the 1st down.
Handoff goes to Axley right up the middle, and he'll blast out near the 50-yard line before he's tripped up. Wilson Axley on his 1st carry of the night. He's got a Highland Park 1st down to the 48-yard line.
He's got a little brother who's about as fast as he is, if not faster, in the 7th grade, but Axley can accelerate with the best of them.
18-yard run, 7th 1st down for Highland Park. 1st down now for the Scots. Here's Jay Cox on a handoff. Across the 50, stays on his feet down to the 47. Jay does such a nice job of holding his balance. He carried a would-be tackler for a yard or 2 on that play.
With Basso leading up through the hole on that power play right there, and Berkner stunted right into the hole the Scots were trying to run, and they still made yards.
Joseph Cisse on the tackle for the Rams.
There it goes again.
There's quarterback draw. And this is only going to be about a pickup of 1. Clock's down to 1:20 to play in the 1st half. 17-3, Highland Park lead.
Yep, timeout. 1:10 left to go in the half. Clock running.
Highland Park 3 for 6 on 3rd down conversions tonight. 2 running backs in the backfield. Storr this time in the flat right side. Grayson Schrank caught it. There was a late hit right there. There's going to be no flag thrown on it.
That's shocking right there.
It's a 1st down for Highland Park, though.
Grayson Schrank clearly out of bounds right there, and still took the shot with the official right there.
There he is out of bounds.
Boom.
And that was Harrington who came in and gave him a little love tap.
We love those love taps.
I don't know if that's what Grayson would call it, but inside a minute to go. Here's
stretch.
Jay Cox.
Oh, yeah.
He's got blockers in front of him.
Axley, good block.
He'll turn it up for a 1st down to the 25-yard line. Jay Cox explodes through there. And the offense really doing a good job of picking up big plays right here as they get another 13 on this.
There's a stretch right there to the left. Axley leading downfield along with Lawson Petty.
9th play of the drive coming up right here. It's already gone 61 yards. And here's the quarterback who'll pull it in and run it out of bounds right about the line of scrimmage. Stops the clock with 30 seconds to play in the half.
Wise move right there, even though Brennan Storr lost a yard. Gets out of bounds, stops the clock. Save a timeout if you can. Looks like Scots still have 3 timeouts. So they've got the entire playbook open here.
I was looking all over that scoreboard, and I could not find timeouts till you pointed it out. Thank you, Coach.
Yeah.
There's a pass across the middle. Jay Cox, touchdown, Highland Park.
They don't even route. Leaks out of the backfield, going up the right seam, and gets behind the Berkner defense And Storr puts the ball on the money for a Highland Park touchdown. They seize momentum.
Touchdown brought to you by Bob Lilly Promotions, proudly supporting the Scots since 1999. Our Kensington Vanguard National title extra point is up, and it is good. And the Scots lead now is at 24-3 with 25 seconds to play in the quarter. Here's that Henry S. Miller replay.
Looked like Grayson Schrank, I believe.
Yep.
Dragged across the field and opened. The backers went with him. He's had such a big night tonight, the last couple of nights, that opened up Jay Cox on that seam route.
Right call for commercial real estate and a proud supporter of Highland Park Scots. That's Henry S. Miller. Bringing you our quarter replays here in the second quarter of tonight's game. Last Thursday night game of the regular season for Highland Park. Second one they've played this year.
A lot of people have asked me, looking down the road, in 5A, Highland Park got, if they won the district, they got the home playoff game. And a lot of people say, is it that way? 6A? It is. So if Highland Park continues on, the Scots continue on and win district, they'll have a home playoff game first round.
Highland Park now has scored on their last possession of the first half in 3 consecutive games. That makes a big difference.
It's huge going into halftime.
Scots are also 5 for 5 scoring on that opening drive of the second half.
So you can't be any better than they've been, in essence.
Our Davidson Bogle real estate kickoff. Here is Nick Regas kicking it off. It's going to be taken from the 15-yard line, brought back out to near the 35-yard line. And it was not Regas that time. It was Jake Tansey who kicked off for the Scots.
Linebacker Sam Webster bringing Williams down as he tried to explode through the middle of the Scots coverage team. Sam Webster, who we should see in the second half, playing some inside and outside linebacker.
24-3 Highland Park lead. Only 18 seconds to go. Rams have no timeouts left.
We got on the defensive front, we got Spencer Brown, Daniel Turner at the nose, along with Clarkson at the opposite end. Let's see what Daniel Turner, the sophomore, can do. He's been impressive.
Again, McGee in at quarterback. Turns, throws it into the flat left side. Pass is caught. Receiver broke one tackle behind the line of scrimmage, then gets back up near the line of scrimmage. But Brady Dautrieve comes in to eventually make that tackle for the Scots. It'll go down as a loss of 1 on the pass completion, and that should take us to the end of the first half of play, and it does. 2 quarters are in the books here at Wildcat Rams Stadium, and Highland Park is dominating the Berkner Rams, leading 24-3. Coming up next, our Madden Securities global capabilities for people you trust. Madden Securities sponsoring our halftime show. And coming up, we will see the player profiles. And again, who'd you have a chance to talk to?
I had a chance to visit with 2 inside linebackers who had great games last week. Tommy Rossley and Jack Morris. And then also receiver Grayson Schrank. And hearing about his journey through that bad injury last year to back to a starting receiver this year. And it's got some great things to say. He has a different perspective on things now.
Scots still have not trailed in a game this season. And here comes the Highlander Band. We'll carry their performance, so stand by for that. And then, of course, we will carry the Bells' performance. Halftime stats will be coming up after the Band and the Bells. We'll step aside. We'll take a quick timeout. The Highlander Band comes up next. Again, 24-3 at halftime.
With almost 100 offices across the state of Texas and 50 of them in the DFW area alone, Capital Title is here to serve you. Made by Texans, for Texans. Capital Title is the largest independent title company in the United States. We are Dallas-born, Dallas-based, and family-owned. We support the Highland Park Scots.
Our name, Residential Capital Partners, reflects who we are and how we treat our customers. At Residential Capital Partners, we are dedicated to helping our customers build wealth through real estate. Residential Capital Partners, America's private lender.
Stafford was under pressure, rolled to the left, threw 43 yards into the end zone for a prayer, and Highland Park comes down with the touchdown. Offside kick to come. Across the middle of Snowstead. Touchdown, Highland Park. The game is over. Highland Park has won the state championship.
And it is halftime as we welcome you back into Wildcat Ram Stadium, and the Highland Park Scots leading 24-3. We're going to sit back and watch the Highlander Band as they perform. We'll come back.
Featuring the music of Jay Warner and Eleanor Bernstein.
Highland Park High School proudly presents the 2022 Highland Bells.
Lieutenants from left to right are Greer Dunstan, Shelby Sides, Addison Renfro, Logan Perrette, and Sophie Bishop. For your halftime entertainment, the Bells will perform a jazz routine to Electricity.
Falling into you, baby. Even electricity can't compare to what I feel when I'm with you. Oh, baby. Giving up my ghost for you. Now I'm see-through. You give me a feeling so strong. I know you've been treating yourself wrong. So let me care for you. Ooh, baby. I'ma love you differently. I'll give you electricity. Give it to you. And even if I could, I wouldn't turn on you. And I would stop the world for you. You know I wanna let you know I'll never let this feeling go. This love has no ceiling. I cannot deny. Even if I could, I wouldn't turn on you. And I would stop the world for you. And I wanna let you know I'll never let the feeling go. This love has no ceiling. I cannot deny. All I see is you lately. Wide awake and in my dreams, I see your face so vividly. Don't know what I do. Ooh, baby. You only saw a friend in me. I'd be bittersweet. You give me a feeling so strong. I know you've been treating yourself wrong. So let me care for you. Ooh, baby. I'ma love you differently. I'll give you electricity. Give it to you. And even if I could, I wouldn't turn on you. And I would stop the world for you. You know I wanna let you know I'll never let this feeling go. This love has no ceiling. I cannot deny. Even if I could, I wouldn't turn on you. And I would stop the world for you. And I wanna let you know I'll never let the feeling go. This love has no ceiling. I cannot deny.
Origin Bank is the proud sponsor of the 2022 team. The Highland Bells are under the direction of Mrs. Shannon Phillips. Associate Director is Mrs. Emily Sanchez. And Assistant Director is Mrs. Berkeley Slover.
At a service culture, and I don't think there's anybody in our company that believes otherwise. Everybody understands that our mission is to take care of families.
And I think what makes me the most proud is how many families and lives we have actually touched. We've been so impactful for so many people, and in different ways of their lives, in ways we couldn't necessarily anticipate.
Conveniently located between Lovers Lane and University Boulevard on Preston Road. Not Just Soccer is locally owned and has served the Highland Park community for youth sports equipment needs since 1989. Whether you're looking for soccer, football, basketball, baseball, volleyball, or lacrosse equipment, they carry it all, and they take pride with specialists in each sport, and in many circumstances, you'll be helped by a current Highland Park athlete. Go Scots! Attention Highland Park Scots and SMU fans, football is back at Highlander and on the Hilltop. And so is your favorite neighborhood burger joint, Goff's Hamburgers. It's the same burgers, same fries, hot dogs, and chicken you loved as a kid, but now in a brand new location. Goff's is now on Mockingbird between SMU and Central Expressway. Drop in for that unmistakable charcoal grill taste. Host a private party in the back room, or hang out and enjoy the Highland Park and SMU memories hanging on the walls. Goff's Hamburgers, proud supporter of the Highland Park Scots.
School is fantastic. You feel you're involved in every step.
of the decision-making process. That really makes a big difference to me.
Discover our wide variety of new and certified pre-owned vehicles at Sewell Cadillac or SewellCadillac.com.
Back at halftime at Wildcat Rams Stadium, Russell Scott along with Jim Castelaw, Jay Ellis along the sideline, Mike McAbee, our statistician here in the booth, and Yvonne Zuniga, our coordinating producer here in the booth as well. It has been a all Highland Park first half. Scots are up 24-3. We've got some highlights to roll through and see how Highland Park got on the scoreboard in this one. They got a couple of really nice touchdown throws from quarterback Brennan Storr. This first one is that touchdown throw to Grayson Schrank. And, boy, he breaks that first tackle, and it is off to the races for 61 yards.
Not going to catch him. He's got too much quicks.
You get another look at it right here.
Found it. See the gap in the zone coverage? Brennan Storr hits it nicely.
Well, Highland Park got a couple of nice touchdown throws in that first half. The other one goes to Luke Herring. And Luke Herring doesn't look like he's going to get into the end zone, but then he goes up and over the would-be defender as he outruns everybody down to the goal line, and then it's up and over.
You see the stalk look? He sees the defender coming. He goes, I'm going up. I'm going airborne.
Here's another look at it.
He ran right exactly where the backers were, and then says, you're going to have to come up awful high because I'm going over the top.
That was Jarvis Shane that he jumped over the top of right there to get into the end zone. And then you've got this one. Jay Cox gets wide open downfield, and they find him on that seam pattern. That play works so well. We've seen it about 3 times score. You've seen the Scots score on that about 3 times this season. And Highland Park goes into the locker room up 24-3. Just generally your thoughts on how Highland Park played in that first half.
I was very impressed with the way they got after it. I mean, you have to realize also that Berkner's got a talented team. They've got a lot of skill. They've been struggling a little bit, but they got a lot of skill. But I think the Scots did a nice job of taking advantages of the Berkner's weakness, especially on that crossing route to Herring.
Jim had a chance to catch up with 3 of the players for tonight's player profile: Tommy Rossley, Jack Morse, and Grayson Schrank. And so let's go to the video and listen to these outstanding Highland Park football players and their thoughts on how the season has gone and just their thoughts on Highland Park football in general.
Welcome to the 2022 edition of the Highland Park Scots Player Profile. Each week here at halftime, we'll be joined by 3 or 4 of the Scots' key contributors to hear their thoughts on the season and that week's upcoming opponent. Tonight, as the Scots prepare for a Thursday night visit to Wildcat Rams Stadium and a matchup with the Berkner Rams, we're joined by 2 key members of the Highland Park defense, along with one of the fastest receivers on the HP roster. They are inside linebackers Tommy Rossley and Jack Morris, along with slot receiver Grayson Schrank. Guys, thanks very much for being with us. Well, fellas, you're coming off an impressive 35-28 victory over Jesuit last Friday night in a game that left you in sole possession of first place in District 7, 6A, in the District 7 6A standings, but probably didn't leave a great taste in your mouth when it was all said and done. Tell us from your perspective how the game started, how it ended, and what you learned from the overall experience that you're going to take forward from here. Tommy, we'll start with you.
Well, from the beginning, we have a motto on defense called "Kill Their Will," and we really try to come out fiery. We try to come out fiery. Obviously, this is a in-town rivalry. We wanted to set things straight, so we came out hitting. First quarter, we had a couple 3-and-outs, and we had some great plays by everyone on the defense. And when the second quarter, we were still making some great plays, flying around. And then going in the third quarter, we were still making great plays, but they started to get some yards on us. We didn't like that at all. We tried to this guy had a great 4th down stop and really got our momentum back into place, kind of set things straight. But then fourth quarter, we didn't like they were driving on us. We didn't like that at all. We were trying to stop them, but they just kept getting yards, and none of us were like that. I mean, we still every day in practice we said remember this play, remember that play.
Right.
We try to fix it and do whatever, but
Well, they're a good football team. There's no getting around it.
Very good football team. Very good players on the other side. And they were making plays on us, and we didn't like that at all.
Okay. Jack, from your standpoint, again, I know there were a lot of good things, but I know probably some things you want to work on and clean up.
Well, just like Tommy said, the first half, our defense we were firing all cylinders, 3 and outs, turnovers, interceptions, everything like that. But we go into halftime and we just settle. We're up 28-0. We had this in the bag. After this game, we're gonna have so much fun. But that got us out of focus. And honestly, we just need to stay dialed in at halftime. We need to, like Tommy said, our defensive slogan is "kill their will." So we just need to keep firing, keep hitting. But we let up towards that third and fourth quarter. So
right. Well, and again, to be fair, you won the game. Okay, so obviously you don't want to treat it like a loss because you did win the game. But still, some things that probably you're happy in a little ways that you see some kinks, some chinks in your armor that you can maybe correct by the time you get down the road to the playoffs. Grayson, from an offensive standpoint, you guys came out just like the defense, really firing on all cylinders. I mean, you were marching the ball up and down the field. Tell us about your take on how y'all started that game from an offensive standpoint.
Yes, sir. One of the biggest points of the game was to come out hot, and which we did. We started out really well. I think it was 21-0 going into the half, but unfortunately, after halftime, we settled a little bit, and there were some key points in the game where the momentum shifted, like that onside kick that they got, and I think their defense surprised us a little bit. They had more speed than we anticipated, but I thought that we kind of shifted our game plan to try to run the clock out, and that hurt us a little bit just with the amount of time we had the ball, because it's hard to score if you don't have the ball.
Right.
But I thought that definitely in the second half, there's some things that we can take and work on in practice, which we did this week. And honestly, it made us a better football team, just dealing with adversity and dealing with not always being up so much. We need that as a team, and we'll see how much more we get of that in our district.
Right.
But it really, really will help us when we get the playoffs.
Right. I know you if I ask you, would you guys like to win every game 63-0 like you did earlier this year against Irving? You'd probably say yes, but probably that doesn't make you a lot better. It's finding out where your problems might lie. Is there a silver lining in there somewhere, Grayson, that you wish it had gone more smoothly, but you might be able to benefit even more by finding out some of the things you need to work on?
Oh, for sure. And then that will definitely help come playoff time, because it really, really helps you find what kind of team you are and how you react in those situations when you're down and things might not be going your way. So, we took the things that we didn't necessarily do great on in the second half, and we worked on them in practice, and we'll continue to work on them. So when it comes to another time like that, we'll be ready.
Right. Well, I can't help but think that, watching teams in the past who've benefited, you say you never like to lose, but a lot of times getting slapped in the face is the best thing for you long term. And plus, you played a team that's a good football team that probably is going to be in the playoffs as well. So that's a wake up call, I would think, a little bit. What did the coaches have to say after the game, Grayson? Pretty much what we've talked about right here.
Well, yes, sir. It was pretty much that. They were satisfied with the win. We beat a great football team, as you said, but obviously there's things we need to work on, and that we should not be satisfied by beating them by 7.
Yep.
It should have been more than that, but hats off to them. They're a great team.
Right.
And we could have done better, but I thought it was great to get the win, and they did too.
Right. And Tommy and Jack, I understand that you guys wanted to kind of set the record straight and requested a kind of closed door meeting after the game among yourselves. I don't want details because that's private. But did you accomplish what you wanted to by going in there and visiting with each other right after the game was over? Tommy, we'll go to you.
I think we did accomplish that, but it's not just that film room that we talked in. It carries over in the weeks to come.
Right.
what we said in there, we have to see in the coming weeks, and that's really all.
Yeah, and Jack, from your point of view,
it was a much needed talk, really. Just get us back straight,
Right.
Not get too down on the loss, but we can't be happy with that win.
Right. And it's a long season, and I know where y'all are coming from. You want to correct problems when they come up, not 3 weeks after the fact. So I'm sure that was well needed. Let's get to some individual questions. Again, congratulations on the win, because over and above everything else, you got the win. Individual question. Grayson, we'll start with you. You had a huge night against Jesuit. You led the team with 5 receptions for 87 yards, a 17.5-yard average. For the year, you've had 19 receptions for 293 yards and 3 TDs. After what you had to go through last year, how good does it feel to be back on the field on a game night like you had against Jesuit?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, it means everything to me. I talked about it a little bit a couple weeks ago, but just going through what I had to go through and watching on the sideline last year was tough. But
and by the way, for people who don't know, tell us about your injury last year. You had a knee injury, correct?
Yes, sir. I tore my ACL in spring scrimmage, so I was out the whole season last year. So I missed junior season.
Okay.
But I mean, it feels incredible, just all the work that I had to go through to get back to this point. And my teammates, my friends, and family, they were all there for me, and my coaches during that time, and believed in me and still trusted that I was able to get back to the point where I am. Mm-hmm. And I really just persevered and had a lot of faith. And thankfully, I'm back to where I am, and now I'm doing the things I'm doing. It feels incredible.
Right. And it looks like you may be even a little faster than you would, which would be hard to imagine because you were very fast before. Does it make you appreciate it even more because you had to sit and watch from the sideline last year?
Yes, sir, for sure. And even like the little things, like I appreciate practice and those long film meetings and just all the hard work that we do that usually I wouldn't like doing. And now I just really appreciate doing it because I saw what it was like.
Our halftime show brought to you by Madden Security's global capabilities from the people you trust. And if you would like to see the rest of those interviews, you get in contact with Jim.
Shoot me an email, and I'll be glad to send over the full interview. We don't have time for all of it at halftime because of the bells and band performing, obviously. But if you'd like to see the whole thing, just shoot me an email.
Halftime in Highland Park up 24-3 on the Berkner Rams. We'll get the third quarter kickoff coming up right after we take this timeout.
School is fantastic. You feel you're involved in every step of the decision-making process. That really makes a big difference to me.
Discover our wide variety of new and certified pre-owned vehicles at Sewell Cadillac or SewellCadillac.com.
Highland Park leads this football game. Stafford was under pressure, rolled to the left, threw 43 yards into the end zone for a prayer, and Highland Park comes down with the touchdown.
With almost 100 offices across the state of Texas and 50 of them in the DFW area alone, Capital Title is here to serve you. Made by Texans, for Texans. Capital Title is the largest independent title company in the United States. We are Dallas-born, Dallas-based, and family-owned. We support the Highland Park Scots.
It's the Baker Brothers replay. Team Baker Brothers really stopped that running toilet in its tracks. No more running toilets.
Now that's what I call a bathroom break.
Okay, Jimmy.
Call now to get this month's great deal from Baker Brothers.
Determination on the field breeds determination in life. Discipline needed on the court will be the same discipline that gets the job done. That's why Tailwater Capital is a proud supporter of the Highland Park Athletic Program, the winningest athletic program in the state of Texas. 11 Lone Star Cups, 112 state championships, and a commitment to excellence that serves its players for a lifetime. From the locker room to the boardroom, Scots find a way.
About ready to get the third quarter underway. You see the Scots coming out of the locker room. They've got a 24-3 lead on the Berkner Rams. This is a district game. Highland Park trying to improve to 6-0 on the season. If they can hold on and win this, they're up 24-3, and it has been all Highland Park really offensively. They've stymied the Rams offense most of the first half. Mike McAbee, our statistician, joins us for a quick look at some of those numbers from the first half.
It's been all Scots, definitely. 10 first downs for the Scots versus 2 for the Rams. You can see their total offense, 211 yards for the Scots versus 111. Rushing plays, every number across the board dominated by the Scots. No turnovers, no fumbles, no interceptions for either teams. Highland Park just slightly ahead in the time of possession.
Third quarter kickoff brought to you by Davidson Bogle Real Estate. And again, Highland Park 24-3 lead. The Scots will have it teed up, and Nick Regas will do the kicking chores. He'll kick from left to right. Here in the third quarter, the Rams will move from right to left offensively. Vance is on the ball, gets a high end-over-end kick, and this one's going to go into the end zone, and they'll bring it out to the 25-yard line, and that's where the Rams will start. They've been led by Cornell McGee, the fourth, at quarterback all night tonight. Up on that offensive line, they've been led by Michael Jordan, who plays center, DeJen Johnson at right guard, Kunte McDonald at right tackle, Tony Ayers, left guard, and Kenrick Lee at left tackle. They've got a sophomore at left tackle. They've got a freshman at one wide receiver. They've got a sophomore at another wide receiver. And both of their running backs are juniors. And then they've got another sophomore quarterback who's got a lot of playing time this season. We haven't seen him tonight, but he has played a lot. So they've got some ability on this team. And you just think the next year or two, Berkner Rams are going to be pretty good, I think. Here we go on a handoff right up the middle, and there is a how do you do from Mr. William White to the running back, and he goes absolutely no place on the first play of the third quarter.
William just comes knifing down from his left outside linebacker position. He just swallows the running back from Berkner. Just didn't have a chance at all.
That was Jamari Williams on the carry. Loss of 1 on the play brings second down 11 now. Ball's put down on the 24-yard line.
Set the defense, Judge Ellis, Montgomery, Richter, the down lineman.
Again, out of the shotgun. And there is a whistle and a flag thrown.
And for if you're not here in the stands or watching on TV, I'll give you one guess what they did. Stem, movement. Berkner can't hold their water, and they're backing them up 5 yards.
There's only a second left on the play clock when the penalty was called, so I'm not sure that they were going to get the play off even if they didn't jump right there. Nevertheless, it is going to be second down. Move the ball back to the 19-yard line. The line to gain is the 35. Rams now with 3 wide receivers. McGee's going to hand it off. This is Jamari Williams. He gets across out to the 22, and then he gets hit hard. And among those in on the tackle, Jack Morris is right there. And Hunter Thornton, number 23, is in on the tackle as well for the Scots defense.
Just swarming right there, but Morris does a good job. Thornton sets the edge nicely, forces Williams back inside, and when he does, waiting there for him is Jack Morris.
Rams are only 1 for 6 on third down conversions tonight. They've got a third down and 13 coming up.
Morris is in position to blitz from the offensive right.
Here we go. McGee wants to throw. He's hit just as he let it go, and this one's going to be intercepted. Picked off at midfield by Highland Park. That's Brady Dautrieve who comes up with the interception for the Scots, his first pick of the season.
Well, I'll tell you why that ball was picked off, though, because there's huge pressure from Richter, Montgomery, and Ellis right in McGee's face as he's trying to throw the ball.
Pass interference is going to be the call against Highland Park. That's going to be a 15-yard penalty against the Scots, and it takes away the interception.
Well, that's a tough call because the Scots had big-time pressure in the face of McGee right there, and a pick to go with it.
Move the chains and a first down set up for the Rams at their own 37-yard line. Plays being signaled in from the sideline.
Big Caden Alcorn, the running back next to McGee, looks like a thick young man.
They send a man in motion from left to right. This time McGee flushed out of the pocket, throws on the run. The receiver falls down, and that's going to be incomplete pass. Intended that time for Damian Crow.
Judge Ellis applying pressure again. Judge is really having a field day shucking the offensive tackle, trying to block him, and he's putting heavy pressure in McGee's face down after down.
William White right there, you see, outside linebacker for the Scots. Second down and 10 after the incomplete pass.
Berkner running that tight end look to the right.
Highland Park again moved their defense laterally, and that caused somebody on that offensive line to jump again.
I can promise you, Berkner's going to have so many drills where they've got to sit there and hold still when the defense stems this coming week.
Fifth time that has been called against Berkner.
And again, Scots aren't jumping into the neutral zone. They're jumping laterally, just about a foot, if that.
Second down and 15 now if they move the ball back to the 32-yard line. Still on the left hash mark. Two wide receivers, H-back in there, and one running back. They're going to give to the running back, and Alcorn will take this across the 35 to the 37-yard line. And third down and 10 about to come up now for the Rams. That's Henry Richter who gets in there, makes the tackle for the Scots. Richter, number 97 right there.
Glad to see Robert Remy back. He's battled some injuries for the last few weeks. Good to see number 10 back in there again.
Look at him. He looks like he wants to blitz right here.
Yep, up in the gaps. Fire blitz possible coming.
Again, McGee at quarterback. Calls for the snap. Straight drop back. Looks. Now he's going to release it. He has a receiver, and it's caught. Down at the 30-yard line, they'll turn it upfield, out of bounds, near the 15-yard line. And that is a huge first down.
There's your freshman
for the Rams. That's Damian Crow, the freshman. 5'7", 140 pounds. He goes 49 yards on the pass and run. And a first down set up inside the 15-yard line.
Well, speed is the toughest route to handle, is that crossing route when the receiver, like Crow, has his kind of speed. And Highland Park defense just can't keep up.
First down, ball's just outside the 15-yard line. Highland Park shifts their defense. Nobody jumps this time. They're going to hand it off. Jamari Williams. And he'll pick up about 3. Among those coming in is Dautrieve is in there. Hunter Thornton is in there. Carl Williams comes in to help out as well.
Let's see if the Scott defense can stiffen again.
I was going to say, the one thing about the Highland Park defense, if one person slows them down, you get about 2 or 3 or 4 more white jerseys.
Right. That rally.
Up there to help and finish them off.
Rally to the ball and get their piece of that assist. These guys like those helmet stickers for those solos and assists.
Williams stands just to the left of the quarterback this time. Snap it back, give to Williams. Find a nice little crease in there, and then William White grabs him and slings him down to the turf. Wrangles him there. That's the term I should use. It's
bulldog wrangle.
State fair
of
time.
Texas time. Yeah.
And it's going to be a 5-yard pickup, but a nice tackle there by number 11.
Well, and what White does about better than anybody, he's taking on his block, holding off the blocker with one hand, and then he'll just disengage and make the play as soon as the back commits, doing it just the way you're supposed to. Highlight real worthy.
Second time tonight that the Rams have gotten inside the Highland Park 10-yard line. Scott's defense held them to 3 in the first half. There's a handoff, and there is a nice tackle by William White again. That was Jamari Williams on the carry, and White just hugged him down to the turf right at the 5-yard line.
Coach Bobby Leidner exhorting the defense to get the stop.
First and goal to go now for the Rams at the Scott's 5-yard line. Again, last time they got as far as the 4-yard line before they had a series of penalties that moved them back to near the 15, and they eventually had to settle for a long field goal.
A lot of confusion on the Berkner offense. Got guys running right, left, east, west. Can't figure it out. Take a timeout.
They've got a timeout on the field. I think that Pat Sauer is over in the stands. He's found another Highland Park Scott parent. And let's go down to Pat.
Guess who I got here? I got one of our favorites, Liza Ellis. She's got Judge out there running all over the place, tearing it up, and also Jay up and down the sidelines. Liza, what do you think about the game so far?
I like it. I like how well we're scoring, and I really like watching the defense. They're killing it, absolutely killing it, and somehow 95 is on fire tonight.
There you go. We also have his aunt and uncle. Okay, guys, thanks a lot. Good job, Liza.
That's why he's playing so well. He's got the whole family here.
Yeah, really. He said, aunts and uncles are coming in. You better make some plays.
Next time Jay's going to be late.
Hey, Pat, you need to ask Eliza. She probably likes sitting up there in the stands and keeping Jay.
Okay, we got one more question for Liza. Feed it to me, guys.
Would she be willing to come in and do color when Jim's not able to?
Oh, there you go. When Jim's not here, would you be willing to go up in the booth and do color?
Absolutely, yeah. Just wait for y'all to ask me.
When I'm on the parole hearing.
Sideline reports brought to you by Willow Bend Mortgage. There's a run up the left side and a touchdown for the Rams. No flags this time around, and so it is going to stand, and I believe that is Jamari Williams.
Yes, it is.
On the carry, his first touchdown of the night, the first touchdown for the Rams tonight, and it's a 24-9 football game with the extra point to come. Matthew Rodriguez comes on to try the PAT. Rodriguez steps into it, and they almost blocked it. This one is high, and it just does get across the bar, and it is good.
I think
Rourke may have deflected it, but it's still
again football game. Scott still have the lead, but the Berkner Rams with their first touchdown of the night.
I think Pat's going down the row over there.
He is.
You're on row 3. You're up.
It's great to hear from all the parents, though.
Jim scoring drive.
All right, scoring drive for Berkner. The Rams go 9 plays, 75 yards. Take 4:53 off the clock. The scoring play, 5-yard dive off the left side by Jamari Williams. Extra point is good. And with 7:07 to go in the third quarter, again, Highland Park 24, Berkner 10. This drive recap brought to you by Steward Partners Global Advisory, located right here in Dallas. We thank you for sponsoring our drive recaps.
7:07 to play third quarter. And the Scots will send Bo Lilly deep to the 5-yard line. Matthew Rodriguez will tee it up and kick off for the Berkner Rams.
One of the things I think the Scots learned last week is that when you get a team that gets in within scoring distance, Berkner now 2 touchdowns down only, you need to snuff it out quickly. So see if the intensity picks up from the Scots standpoint.
Rams will kick from right to left. Lilly again at the 5. Comes the right-footed kicker. It's going to be short. Fair catch is going to be made at the 25-yard line.
That's
coming up to
Steele Tobin, number 85. They had Gene Tobin probably over in the stand someplace. Accomplished guitar player.
All right.
At least that's what he tells me. I don't know. No, he is seriously a very talented musician, among other things.
Well, let's see what the Scots can do right here. Cox in there at running. They'll fake the handoff to him, throw left side. That's going to be caught. That's Luke Herring. Herring trying to break a tackle. He'll drag his would-be or his tackler down to the 45-yard line. That was Jarvis Sane who made it. It's going to be a 20-yard pickup, and I believe that's Sane who's down over there.
You know, we always know how Luke Herring can catch the ball, but he's a punishing runner too when he gets in the open field like that. Not a fun job to have to bring him down.
Sane looks like he was injured on that tackle. Our injury updates tonight brought to you by Dr. Field Scoville over at the Carroll Clinic. He's an orthopedic surgeon, fellowship trained in sports medicine. Our thanks to Dr. Scoville for being a proud sponsor of Highland Park football. There is a timeout on the field as they check on the injured player over there. Believe that Pat's
moved down to row 4.
He has. Let's
okay.
Let's
Keith.
Yeah, Pat, I'm not sure you're on the air. Let me see. Let's go down to Pat Sauer real quick.
I'm right here. I can see the cameraman there. Stand up.
Now we got you.
Hey, everybody in the Watts family, stand up. Yeah, we got a lot of support here. Hey, Jake has really, he's playing guard, tackle, wherever they need him. What do you think about the job he's doing and his interview skills?
He's great. He's much better than his dad, that's for sure. We got a lot of kids that have moved, though. We've had 2 kids, Montgomery and Charlotte, or who am I thinking of down the street that moved to the backfield, too. So we've had a lot of guys move this year over to defense. It's been a great job.
Yeah, stay with us, guys. Do the play-by-play.
All right, here we go. First down and 10 for Highland Park. This time, Jay Cox coming off tackle, and
the helmet comes off.
Force his way down to the 49-yard line.
We've got the twin daughters right here.
Hi. Hi.
Kate, and we got
Grandma Jan.
Yeah.
And Mama Bear. I'm Kayla.
We got Mama Bear and Aunt Bear.
Pat's Angie.
I'm cousin Stephanie.
There you go. We got them all here. They got a crowd.
Pat's angling for some turkey dinner at Thanksgiving.
I think you're exactly right. I think he probably got it right there. The invite's going out to him, no doubt. Second down for Highland Park now. They need almost 5 for a first down. Let's make it second down and 4 officially, according to Mike McAbee, our statistician. Storr snaps his hand. The ball comes back to him. He's flushed out of the pocket, shakes one tackle.
There we go.
Lost it downfield. He got it to Bo Lilly. Lilly still on his feet, fights his way forward down to the 30-yard line. They're going to say he stepped out of bounds at the 30, I believe.
He got a break. Bo Lilly was right beneath us in the press box and looked like he might have stepped out a little before that, but we're happy with the call.
19 yards on the pass completion. This replay this hour brought to you by Harris Orthodontics. They know how to tackle crooked teeth.
Boy, Lilly is a tough slot receiver to bring down. Got such great size.
First down for the Scots. They're now at the Rams' 30-yard line. This time play action. Storr throws downfield, has a receiver there. Nice defensive play as the ball was tipped away from Schrank at the last moment. The defender on the play was Richmond Ugachukwa, and that's going to bring up a second down and 10.
Very nicely done, Ugachukwa. Very nice.
He's the sophomore.
There's a reason we pay you the big bucks.
He's the sophomore brother of the Ugachukwas. His brother Justice plays on the defensive line.
Well, he's a good defensive end in his own right, along with Talib.
Marulis out over the football. He'll snap it back. Play action. And this time across the middle, wide open in the end zone. Touchdown, Highland Park. Jackson Heiss pulls that one in. And a 30-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Brennan Storr to Jackson Heiss. And that touchdown brought to you by Bob Lilly Promotions, proudly supporting the Scots since 1999.
And that's one right there where Brennan Storr Lilly is so wide open. Heiss is so wide open that Brennan Storr, I'm sure, is saying, just don't overthrow it. Just don't overthrow it. Just lay it out there where you can run under it. And he did just that.
Tansey with the point after, brought to you by Kensington Vanguard. National title. It is good. Makes it a 31-10 football game. Is that correct?
Should be 31-10. Here you see a replay right here. See the stabber backer coming, inching down. Here he comes. Basso picks him up nicely. Storr throws it back across the field to Heiss, who is wide open. Storr hits him right at the back of the end zone in perfect stride.
Our quarter replays brought to you by Harris Orthodontics. They know how to tackle those crooked teeth. Our drive recap now for Highland Park.
Scots go 74 yards in 5 plays. Take 1 minute, 23 seconds off the clock. The touchdown. A 30-yard touchdown pass from Brennan Storr to Jackson Heiss. That extends the opening scoring drive of the half. Record for the Scots to 6 straight games. Since this is the 6th game, that's every game this year. And extra point is good. And with 5:44 to go in the third quarter, it's Highland Park 31, Berkner 10. This drive recap brought to you again by Steward Partners Global Advisory, located right here in Dallas.
Regas has it teed up for the Davidson-Bogle kickoff. Twin safeties are back around the 7-yard line to do the return chores. And this is going to be kicked all the way to the goal line. They're going to bring it out.
Here he goes.
To the 10, to the 15. Bottled up in there and then taken down hard right around the 8-yard line. The guy who finally finished him off right there was
that's not Charlie. I'm not sure that's Charlie Barton. Is it? Okay.
Charlie Barton on the tackle.
Charlie getting down there, and
there's another look at it.
And making the play, wrapping up. Barrett Denton is there to help as well. Yeah, that's the second tackle for a kickoff return for Charlie Barton tonight.
Damian Crow on the return that time for the Rams. Daniel Turner's come into the game for Highland Park. He's playing nose guard.
Daniel, sophomore, grandson of former Highland Park head basketball coach and AD, the late Bo Snowden.
5.5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Scots up 31-10. From their own 6-yard line, the Rams will scrimmage. Their worst starting field position of the game. Handoff. This is Williams. And he'll squirt out to near the 9-yard line. It's going to be about a 3 or 4 yard pickup. Jack Morris gets in there to make the tackle.
One of the things that makes Morris so good is his triggering, how quickly he triggers to the ball. When he recognizes the play, he doesn't get over there in a few steps. He gets over there in 1 step and explodes through the ball carrier. He did that right there.
Williams stays in at running back. He'll stand just to the right of the quarterback. They'll go with an H-back this time, off to the left side. Handoff. Williams up the middle. He'll blast his way out near the 13-yard line. Among those in on the tackle this time, Hunter Thornton is there. Jack Morris is there. And a 5-yard run right up the middle for Williams.
They'll bring up third and about 2 maybe.
Where Jack Morris did a nice job to reach in there once he made contact and wrap up the running back.
He explodes through the ball carrier. It's very, very impressive for a sophomore to have that many ball skills this early in his career.
Rams are 3 for 8 converting third downs tonight. Coming into the game, Highland Park's opponents had been averaging 41% conversion rate on third downs. Handoff, they're not going to get it. They're not going to get it.
I don't think so.
They needed to get to the 16-yard line. Carl Williams was among the first in there to stand up the running back.
Well, watch the defensive line, how they torpedo. Defensive ends crash down. Daniel Turner torpedoes the center, meaning he takes his legs out from under him where there's no place for a back to run. And great job. Coach Bird had those guys playing hard up inside on short yardage.
Thought they had stopped him. The official says he made it. They give him the first down.
I don't know how, but nevertheless.
That's only the 7th first down of the night for the Rams. Highland Park has 13 first downs. Give it to Williams again. He started inside, pops it outside, and he's got some running room out across the 25, down to the 28-yard line. And Rourke is in there. Also in there to help out on the tackle is Tommy Rossley.
I think Rossley was the one who got him by the shoestrings and eventually caused him to go down because he just got just enough of a hand on his back foot.
Another first down. That's their longest rush of the night for the Rams. First down at the 28-yard line. Plays being signaled in. We're inside 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. 2 receivers go wide right. They're at the top of your screen there. H-back sets off to the left side this time. Highland Park with 3 down linemen. And we have a timeout that's going to be taken by the Rams right here. Their first of the second half. And the break, 2 minutes, 39 seconds to go. We'll step aside for this quick timeout.
Paying the price, making your move. We see you because we are you. Entrepreneurs banking entrepreneurs. As one of the few Texas banks participating in the Main Street Lending Program, Vista Bank is helping small businesses put America back to work. Isn't it time you join the over 1,500 new PPP clients and make your move to a bank that hustles as hard as you do? Vista Bank. People first.
Don't forget, coming up during our post-game show tonight, we'll visit with head coach Randy Allen. We'll also have our players of the game tonight. So tune in after the game. Find out what the players think of tonight's game and what Coach Allen saw from his team tonight. Handoff goes right over right tackle. Rossley's in there on the tackle for the Scots. Also got some help in there from Barrett Denton.
Still in that tight end look with a sniffer back for Berkner. Hurry up offense.
That was Dante Doyle on the carry. How about that? I'll tell you what, William White jumped on the back of the running back, took a ride for about 3 yards. Caden Alcorn.
Alcorn can carry a few people on his back. He's a strong-looking young man.
William was trying to strip the ball away from the running back. Wasn't able to do it. Pickups enough for a first down. They move the chains once again. Now from their 41-yard line. Rams look to the sideline for that play being signaled in.
Rourke, Denton.
Berkner's now gone over 200 yards of total offense. And they're going to give it to Williams. Jamari Williams got hit at the, it's Alcorn on the carry this time. 6'1", 170-pound junior. Will pick up 3 yards. Highland Park gets about 3 different people in there to make the tackle, led by Carl Williams.
That's that group assist right there. 4 or 5 guys all in Alcorn's face.
Spencer Brown was in the vicinity as well. 4-yard pickup leaves second down 6 now. After tonight, Berkner next week will get
Jesuit.
Jesuit. That's a tough stretch for these guys. Here's a handoff. And Williams will be wrestled down by Rossley. We called Tommy's name a lot tonight. He came into the game with 27 tackles. And
if you saw his interview, he's a kid that just loves playing football. You can just tell him. He just is so excited to be in a starter's position because he's worked so hard to get there.
Less than 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Might be the last play of the third quarter. It's third down and short yardage now for the Rams. Trying to get it into Highland Park territory from their own 49-yard line. Fake it to Williams. They'll go long left side, incomplete.
Threw it over the wrong shoulder.
Yeah, exactly. The running back was looking over his right shoulder. They went over his left shoulder. He tried to turn all the way around and just didn't have the time to come up with the ball.
Seldom works out well when you're trying to make that adjustment. Now, if your Grayson shrank, no problem.
You can do it.
You can do it.
Well, he also
Most
had
receivers.
Adam Rourke tracking him
up
the sideline as well.
Your name's not Shrank, and you got Rourke guarding you, you got a problem.
Last play of the third quarter coming up right here.
Fourth down coming up in
fourth down right here.
Ball's loose.
Ball fell on the floor.
Oh,
it's
no.
picked up, and they hand it off, and a gadget play gets a first down for the Rams all the way down to the Highland Park 32. And I'm going to have to watch the replay on that.
That was a fumble snap by the quarterback. Couldn't get his hands on it. Bent down and picked it up as battle was raging around him. Williams picks it up and finds a hole.
That's incredible that they were able to make all of that out of a busted play. Harris Orthodontics bringing you the replay of that.
Just how they drew it up.
Wow.
That's one of their favorite plays.
That's going to bring us to the end of the third quarter. Highland Park still got that 31-10 lead. And Pat Sauer on the far side. There you see the Highlander band right there. Not too far from the Highlander band is Pat Sauer, and he's with another guest.
I've got Whit Basso's family here. Whit's doing a great job. The coaches brag on him all the time. What do you think about how number 55 is doing for the Scots?
Oh, I think he's doing great. I appreciate that. He's not the biggest guy out there, but he's got a big heart, and I'm proud of the way he's playing. He's very tenacious.
He's kind of mean out there. Was he mean at home?
He's mean, yes, to me, like his mother's mean to me as well. I'm just kidding.
And so we have his brother and his mom here, and his sister. Now, his sister was a Lieutenant Bell. And so, Mom, do you know more about the football game or the Bells?
Oh, gosh. Now, I have to learn about football now. I'm forced to do that. No, I got it, though. I think I'm now watching it. I can I at least know that I am doing something right when we, agree on the same play. So
we're glad to see all of y'all here supporting the Scots and your son, Whit. He's doing a great job. Thanks, y'all.
Another penalty called against the Rams. And there's another Thanksgiving invitation.
I'm telling you, Pat.
75 yards in penalties against the Rams here in this ball game. How many flags is that?
That's
12 flags. 75 yards.
And if
against Berkner. And two of those flags were touchdowns that were called back.
If you're a young team and you're trying to scratch and claw and hang in there with a Highland Park, you just cannot afford that.
Moves it back 5 yards. Repeat first down. 1st and 15 now as we get into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Pat's had a lot of families over there.
It's
well, you will. You'll get that Thanksgiving invite.
First down, 15. Turn. This is Williams. Boy, he got bumped at the line of scrimmage. Bounces off one or two. And then gets around the right side. Picks up about 3? That's about all it was. William White was right there to make the tackle, but watch this.
Watch Richter stalemate the tackle and then stalemate the running back into the backfield. He doesn't get credit for the tackle there, but he should get something because he forced it to bounce completely to the other side of the field. Good job, Henry Richter.
Replays this hour brought to you by Free Range Concepts, the Rustic. Texas ingredients, Texas sounds, and Texas soul. That is the Rustic.
Scott's bringing in fresh legs. Judge Ellis coming in. Blake Andrews at nose guard. Richter stays in at defensive end.
2nd down and 12. And a whistle and a timeout's going to be taken. That's the last timeout for the Berkner Rams. They are out of timeouts, and they'll take this one with 10:59 to go in the game. They trail 31-10 to the Scots. Highland Park, by the way, has all 3 of their timeouts left, should they need them or want them.
It's up here on the scoreboard.
I finally found it. I finally found it.
Well, it's a little indescript 3 hanging around up there.
There's a great look at the Highland Park cheerleaders. Again, tonight being pretty much dedicated to Grace Sheep. And again, best wishes, prayers, thoughts, all going to Grace as she recovers from a terrible, terrible traffic accident last weekend. Well, let's see what the Scots do right here.
We're looking at 3rd down and...
Second down and 12.
2nd and 12, excuse me.
Cornell McGee, the 4th, in at quarterback. Running back will set offset to the left side. They'll send a man in motion. Fake the handoff. Option play going out to the left side. He'll flip it forward, and he was dropped immediately. It was a forward pass, and catching it out there is Cool Foreman.
Number 1.
I'm sorry, Kobe Foreman.
Kobe Foreman. And
Can't
knifing up to cut Foreman in half from his cornerback position, Captain Adam Rourke. Boy, he plays that well. Just look at the explosion he gets. Look at him hog-tie the legs. No place you can go out of something like that.
Kobe Foreman stopped immediately on the play. 3rd down and 11. That was a 1-yard pickup. And now 3rd and 11. And the Rams have struggled on 3rd down situations tonight.
Ramey.
Straight drop back.
Richter,
Rush is coming. Richter gets a hold of him. He finally got away from him.
Almost
and it was almost intercepted out there. Nearly picked off by Hunter Thornton. Had it for just a minute, just couldn't hold on to it.
Well, watch Richter just doggedly get after the quarterback right here. Pull back, grab a leg, grab the other leg, twist him, hang on, and wait for Judge Ellis to take his head off.
Boy, and Hunter gets up going, I should have had it, should have had it, wish I would have had it. 4th down, it looks like the Rams will go for it from their own 32-yard line. Straight drop.
Yeah.
McGee wants to throw it. McGee's in trouble. He shakes one tackle, flushed out now. He'll get across the 25, down inside the 20, does get the first down at the 18-yard line.
Oh, my goodness. The Scots had him pinned up, several hands on him, but just could not bring McGee down.
16-yard run right there by Cornell McGee.
Great effort that time by the Highland Park defensive front, but just could not box up McGee.
First down for the Rams. Again, Highland Park's defense. Got full house on that defensive line this time. Handoff around the left side down to the 14-yard line. It's going to be a 3-yard pickup. Hunter Thornton is in there on the tackle. Also got some help from Ramey and Noonan.
Carter Noonan in at defensive end, I believe, for the Scots. Richter has now come back in.
9 minutes exactly to play in this one. Again, the Rams offensive coordinator signaling in the play from the sideline. 5 seconds. Now they'll snap it back, hand it off. And Williams gets down inside the 10-yard line. Spun around at the 9 and dropped at the 8 by Carl Williams.
And the Berkner Rams look like they are content to play smash mouth football even though they're down by 21 points. Just methodically trying to move the ball down the field. Picked up a big 4th down a minute ago, but now we're pounding the ball up inside, and they've got the offensive line beef to give anybody a little bit of a problem.
They go 250, 260, 250, 255, and 265 across that offensive line. They're only 4 for 11 on 3rd down conversions.
They jumped again.
And this is going to move it back.
18? Is that 18?
7.
Okay.
7 false starts.
I was being facetious, but yeah. False starts by
they've got to be close to, they're right around 100 yards in penalties.
Yeah. And it's been down inside the red zone.
Yep. 3rd down, 6.
Low snap.
Fake the handoff one way, come back the other. This is not going to get it. Not going to get it.
Ramey and Thornton
doing a nice job. Both of them grab a hold and won't let the running back advance very far. Picks up maybe 1 yard. 4th down now. Pretty much got to go for it at this point if you're the Rams, especially where they are right here.
You know, you never like to see anybody hurt, but one of the silver linings for the Scots is you find other players who can help you. And Ramey being hurt allowed Jack Morris to step in and really become a key part of this defense.
4th down and 3. Handoff. Williams goes over the right side. He got it. He gets the 4th down just outside the 5-yard line. Carl Williams tackled him. And that's going to set up again a 1st and goal to go situation. We've seen this before. They got down to the 4-yard line back in the first half and not able to get into the end zone. One time they got in this deep and had to settle for 3 points.
Scots do it again.
Here's Williams up the middle. He'll grind down to the 2. Among those coming in to make the tackle, Barrett Denton.
And Barrett Denton, if you recall, in that Louisville game, the 2 stops, Barrett Denton made one of them from his safety position, stuffing the running back.
2nd down, goal to go. They're going to give to Williams. He goes off left tackle and into the end zone. And it's a 2-yard touchdown run. We've got a flag after the play is over. But the touchdown will count. And it is PAT to come right here.
See what the penalty was. See if we can.
White hat tonight. Let's see if he signals it to him. Smith, Holden Smith.
Good memory.
Dead ball foul. After the touchdown, so the score will hold.
Yeah, there's unsportsmanlike conduct after dead ball. After we heard him say dead ball, and he signaled unsportsmanlike.
You didn't
say which way, did he?
Did you say his signal was unsportsmanlike?
That's right. Well, it just depends. It's against the Scots, so.
By the way, you were late tonight. We were just wondering, was it a game you had to coach, or was it your parole?
Yeah, I appreciate y'all. Oh,
here
we
comes
almost blocked
PAT.
it again.
Nearly blocked that time, but it does clear the bar, and it is good.
Yeah, see, that's the incentive for being here on time, so you don't spread bad rumors about me.
We just wanted you to know,
so that we're thinking of you
when your friends call you tomorrow and ask about
how'd your parole board hearing go,
you'll have an answer for them. There you get a look at the band right there from the Highlanders. 31-17 now with 6:12 to play in the game. There's head coach Randy Allen. Asked Coach Allen, by the way, I said, what about the Thursday night game? And he said, it's kind of nice because we can do some scouting on Friday. Also, he's headed out to West Texas. His dad is in the hospital. So our thoughts to Coach Allen's father, we thoughts
and if
goes well for you.
If you've ever met his dad, even at 97, he is tough as a boot. I mean, he is. You just those type guys, you just want them to live forever because it's like whatever you throw at him, he'll handle it. And he's. I always loved watching Coach Allen's dad in the stands because he'd sit in the stand. He didn't want anybody talking to him. Like you'd come up and say, "Hi, I'm Jim Castlaw. Nice to meet you." The focus was on the game. He'd just wave at you and say, "Yeah, okay." And he's one of those guys that, he never gives up. It's like it's not looking good, but he said it's not over. So I'm with you. Hope Coach Allen's dad gets better quickly.
Kickoff is brought to you tonight by Davidson Bogle Real Estate. Land is their business.
Berkner kicking off after the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty is marked off. They'll kick off from their own 25-yard line.
Timeout taken by Highland Park.
I think they might wanted to see where they at least plan to kick the ball from, which is right in the middle of the field. Sometimes teams will move it to the hash to get a little advantage, they think.
You wouldn't think that they would try an onside kick here, would you? Well, down 31-17 with 6:12 to play in the game.
No.
Let's bring Jay Ellis into the conversation for Willow Bend Mortgage. Jay, you're the head coach. What would you do right here?
Well, the truth is, Russell, it depends on how much confidence you have in your team's ability to come back and win the game. If Berkner thinks they can win the game, they need what they do.
Thank you very much. Jay's Sideline Reports brought to you by Willow Bend Mortgage.
And
Matthew Rodriguez has it teed up, and here comes the onside kick. It's going to be a high, and it is going to be fielded, fair caught. That's going to be Grayson Schrank at his own 41-yard line.
That's that bunch set onside kick. The offense huddle, or the kicking team huddles up, and the kicker gives them instructions, and they, bam, here we go. They're all running that.
Cookie, would you
Scott
ask
start
Gabe
with pretty good field position right here at their own 41. 6:09 to go now for the Scots. Up 31-17.
Let's see who we get in the game here. Looks like most of the starters on the offensive line.
Highland Park now with 253 passing yards.
Axley.
And here is Wilson Axley. He's got a first down and more. Ran into his own player who was blocking for him. Bounces off him. Picks up another 5 after that.
That was Bo Lilly. Bo Lilly's going to be telling Wilson, hey, go right or left. I'll block this guy.
Let's get a look at it again here.
But Axley explodes to the hole. Good block by Basso. Great block by Sweeney. Uh-oh. Lilly's in the way. Slides to the right.
Colin Hale in at the Z receiver.
24-yard pickup right there by Axley, the longest rush of the game for either team. Here we go on first down.
Oh, yeah,
this time it's going to be Jay Cox. He found some running room.
Here we go.
He's got a seam, and it's a race to the end zone, and they're not going to catch him. Jay Cox into the end zone for the touchdown.
Beautiful blocks up inside by pulling guard Whit Basso, and also by Lawson Petty clearing the way. And Cox sees the hole, takes advantage of it, 35-yard touchdown run.
Touchdown brought to you by Bob Lilly Promotions, and our extra point to come right here. Tansy's got it ready to go, brought to you by Brett Kennedy and Peter McGuire with Kensington Vanguard National Title.
Ooh, barely got that one.
Up and on the way, he did get it. Scots now lead it 38-17 with 5:27 to go in the football game.
Let's see that replay right here.
Well, when you get those two long plays, it doesn't take you long to get into the end zone.
Look at Petty sealing off. Basso up on the second level linebacker, and Cox got all he needs to hit the end zone.
Colin Hale also in there, gets a block downfield for the Scots.
Hey, Jake Watts got 2. He got one at the line of scrimmage and then one at the second level linebacker. You got your linemen all getting 1 or 2 beautiful blocks. You're going to score.
Hey, Mike, one last text.
Scott's doing a nice job right there on that play. There you get a look at Jay Cox telling one of the assistant coaches about this is the way I went and this is what I saw. And then I was going to go this way. And
yeah. Then Lawson knocked his guy down. Basso knocked his guy down.
Opened it up for me and got into the end zone. So 5:24 to play in this one. The Scots with a pretty comfortable 38-17 lead. kickoff brought to you by Davidson Bogle Real Estate.
Been impressed with Nick
Regis.
Nick Regis kickoffs. He's shown the ability to put them in a certain spot if the coaches want him to pop it up, also to kick it deep in the end zone. So he's going to be a formidable weapon come playoff time.
Back deep, going to be Crow and Williams. And they're going to kick it towards Jamari Williams. He's going to let it go into the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 25-yard line. Scott's getting a lot of people downfield. They're not giving up. They're going all the way to the end zone.
Right. I think that's what they tell them. If you're going to be on kickoff coverage, you got to go to the end zone one way or the other.
Every time.
Every time, or we'll find somebody who will.
Somebody else will run the distance.
All right. Carlson, Montgomery, Spencer Brown up front. White and Thornton outside backers. Morris and Ramey inside. Ethan Burt at a corner, along with Rourke, Denton, and Dautrieve at the safeties.
This time, tight end's going to set to the right out of the formation. 3 wide receivers. McGee calls for the snap, hands it off. Jamari Williams goes off tackle and pushes out towards the 28-yard line. Lewis Montgomery, the nose guard, on the tackle for Highland Park.
Lewis doing a good job again, getting off the 2 blocks and being able to make the first hit on the running back. Always impressive when you're a nose guard, being able to do that.
Jamari Williams now gone over 100 yards on 25 carries. He is just the 3rd time that Highland Park has allowed a 100-yard rusher this season. Boy, how about William White? Again, with that wrangling down there with Robert Ramey to help out, and they look like a couple of cowboys fighting a calf or
That's what
steer.
Ramey grabbed him by the head and threw him down, and White grabbed him by the head, threw him down. Ramey finished him off.
Whew. 3rd down now for the Berkner Rams. They're 4 for 12 converting tonight. 3 down linemen for the Scots. They bring those 2 outside backers up, and they're showing blitz. They jumped again. There's no flag this time. And the running play out to the 32-yard line. William White's in there on the tackle. Montgomery is in there on the tackle. And
Official let that one go. I thought they moved there as well.
Jack Morris helps out. 4th down now for the Rams.
Scott's close to racking up number 6. Looks like the punt team coming on. And that means Jay Cox is going back. Or is it Steele? Let's see.
It's Jay Cox. All right, let's see what Matthew Rodriguez does this time. He should get a foot into it around the 20-yard line. His 5th punt of the night. He's averaging 22 yards. Remember, he also had a 47-yarder and he had a 12-yarder.
No, ball's on the ground.
He dropped it. He's going to try to make something happen out of it. Throws, but it's not going to be enough. They won't get the first down off the completed pass out to the 30-yard line. So Highland Park's defense holds. Robert Ramey comes through there to make the tackle for the Scots.
And I think they had the fake call there anyway because that receiver was waiting on the ball out there. Didn't look surprised at all, but the ball is dropped. Yeah, they're setting up a fake because both back and they were out there waiting.
Jaquavius Kennedy, actually the guy who caught the pass. Their big nose guard.
Nose guards need a little love too. Give him a shot.
I don't want to have to tackle him if he catches it. Here we go. Scott's back in. We got a new quarterback in there for Highland Park now. That's going to be Warren Peck who comes into play now for the Scots.
Watts, Ogle, Pickleman.
He'll take the handoff. This is Wilson Axley off tackle right side. Picks up 8 yards. We're inside 3 minutes to go before Highland Park notches win number 6 on the season. Peck comes into the game 10 of 14 on the season for just 31 passing yards. He missed last week after being injured 3 weeks ago in a game.
Whit Thompson in at right tackle, Paul Flowers at right guard, Pickleman, Ogle, Watts finish out the offensive line.
Here we go. Peck's going to hand off this time. Trying to get outside around the left. This is Frank Musa. Musa's going to be tackled right around the 24. Couldn't get any farther than that downfield. The Rams doing a nice job of kind of stretching things out.
Musa was the leading rusher in the Irving game, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he was.
Talented backup. Good to see Warren Peck back.
Inside 2 minutes to go now. Scots will go with 2 in the backfield. They're going to keep it on the ground. Here's Axley going right up the middle. Broke a tackle and then gets loose for another 5 yards, and he'll take it all the way down to the 9-yard line.
And that's big Will Ogle, the left guard, leading the way right there for Axley. Watch him here. He pulls, turns up on the power, and he pancakes the linebacker opening the hole down inside the 5 for Wilson Axley.
16-yard run, and Highland Park's got a 1st and goal to go. This trip into the red zone brought to you by Shelby American. 4 carries for 66 yards now for Wilson. Here we go on 1st and goal to go. This time it's going to be Musa. He'll dance his way down to the 4-yard line.
Wagner Perry in at the other back and does a good job kicking out the defensive end, giving Musa someplace to run.
Inside a minute to go. Highland Park's inside the 5-yard line. 2nd down, goal to go.
Looks like the victory formation. Scots are going to be content to finish it off right here.
Need to snap it, twice, and this one will be over. Peck's going to kneel down. With the win tonight, Highland Park's going to go to 6-0 on the season and 3-0 in district play. With the loss, the Rams will see their record to go to under 500. They're 3-4 now, and they go to 3-2 in district play. And Highland Park will win this game tonight by a final score of 38-17 as they count down the final 10 seconds on the clock. And Scots and Rams will meet to shake hands. And a nice win for the Scots tonight here at Wildcat Rams Stadium.
All right.
Nice play tonight by Highland Park's defense and by the offense to put this one away by a final score of 38-17. And again, the Scots just did everything you kind of need to do, and they didn't let anything lull them to sleep in this game or anything such as that.
Still no turnovers.
Exactly.
And again, there's certain games you have during the year that it can't be up to the coaches to get the kids ready. The kids have to get themselves ready to play, and this was one of those games. And I think the Scots themselves did a tremendous job of taking care of business.
All right, let's roll through some of the highlights from this game, and then we will get to head coach Randy Allen. First, this is the way the Scots put this one away tonight.
Defensive ends are wide.
Again, Axley goes in motion. They'll throw it downfield wide open. It's going to be caught, and this is going to be a huge play. Up the right side of the field.
Schrank.
Long run by Grayson Schrank. He gets
defensive ends are wide.
Again, Axley goes in motion. They'll throw it downfield wide open. It's going to be caught, and this is going to be a huge play. Up the right side of the field.
Schrank.
Long run by Grayson Schrank. He gets all the way down into the end zone. Touchdown, Highland coming up right here.
Defensive ends are way wide. Here comes the backer blitz.
Storr is going to loft this one downfield. Luke Herring's got it on a crossing pattern. He'll beat the defender down to the out-of-bounds area.
Defensive ends are way wide. Here comes the backer blitz.
Storr is going to loft this one downfield. Luke Herring's got it on a crossing pattern. He'll beat the defender down to the the out-of-bounds area, then turns it in. He's in. Touch. So you pointed it out. Thank you, Coach.
Yeah.
There's a pass across the middle. Jay Cox, touchdown, Highland Park.
They don't need them. They don't need those timeouts. So, Jake.
Marulis out over the football. He'll snap it back. Play action. And this time across the middle, wide open in the end zone. Marulis out over the football. He'll snap it back. Play action. And this time across the middle, wide open in the end zone. Touchdown, Highland Park. Jackson, actually, the longest rush of the game for either team. Here we go on first down. This time it's going to be Jay Cox. He found some running room. Here we go. He's got a seam, and it's a race to the end zone. 24-yard pickup right there by Axley, the longest rush of the game for either team. Here we go on first down. This time it's going to be Jay Cox. He found some running room. Here we go. He's got a seam, and it's a race to the end zone, and they're not going to catch him. Jay Cox into the end zone for the touchdown.
Beautiful blocks up inside by pulling guard.
38-17, our final score. Head coach Randy Allen is down there with Jay Ellis. Let's go to the sideline.
I have head coach Randy Allen. Coach Allen, this was a tough week emotionally for the Highland Park football team, for the school, and for the community. Tell us what you all did to prepare and how your guys handled the difficult situation they were in.
Well, we went about our business during the week, and Charlie and Robert missed practice, and that was fine with us. We wanted them to be wherever their heart was, and they really felt a closeness to Grace. And so, but we had the prayer meeting on Tuesday night, and we had 1,000 people there, and this showed what a great community we come from. And there are a lot more important things in a football game and in the bottom line. And but we wanted to show care and compassion for our classmate, and but you got to come out and play, and our guys did everything right tonight to win the game. I mean, I thought we went about it in a business-like way. We didn't have many emotions, but that's okay. Sometimes you just got to show up and play your heart out, and you're not going to be very emotional, but you just got to go play.
Coach Allen, in this first year back in 6A, of course you're in a new district. Berkner has a young team that looked strong. Tell us a little bit about them and what a tough opponent they were for you all tonight.
Well, they could run the ball really well, and we needed to work on that, so they gave us a lot of work. It seemed like people's plan against us is run the ball and run the clock and eat up time and limit our possessions. We had 3 possessions or 4 in the second half. We scored on all but the last one, and we took a kneel down on a 5 or wherever. So, yes. We need to see people that are going to just line up and run at us, and we'll get better. Our guys just got to see it enough to where they can defeat blocks and stop those good running backs.
Can you talk about Brennan throwing the ball tonight? He looked very efficient throwing the ball tonight.
Yeah, I think, our passing game has been clicking all year, and Brennan's been a big part, making good decisions, accurate throws, and our receivers, they're dynamic when they catch the ball. And I was glad to see Bo get in. He got some targeting tonight. We got him the ball some, and, we got all 4 guys. Sometimes it's hard to get the ball to all 4 of them. Jackson got one target, I think, and it was for a touchdown. But, our guys are really good players, and they can get open against man coverage, which is what we got a lot of tonight. Found them, defensive line. Thing of defense is, we just fought as hard as we could fight, and we'll get better as the year progresses. But I'm really proud of what they did. I think people maybe underestimate Berkner's how physical they are. I mean, gosh, those 2 running backs are fine running backs, and they had a good offensive line. And so, I think they're going to be a good team in the future. They got some freshmen and a couple of sophomores. He said they got a lot of them coming back. Of course, they're looking forward to the future. And so, but that's next year. We'll worry about that some other time.
Coach Allen, congratulations. Another great win. The Scots remain atop their district, and 4 more games. We'll see you again next week. Congratulations. Thank you.
Show tonight brought to you by Burger House, the official burger of Highland Park football. We'll take a break. We come back with our offensive, defensive, and special teams players of the game right after this. Mouth-watering burgers, famous fries, handmade shakes and malts made the old-fashioned way, like they were back in 1951, when we first opened our doors. Next time you have the urge for a double-double and Jack's Famous Fries, stop in and step back in time to our neighborhood restaurant. We would love to see you. Go Scots! Back on our Burger House postgame show, and again, Highland Park with the 38-17 victory tonight. Jay Ellis down along the sideline, and I believe he has our players of the game. And Jay, take it away.
All right, first I have Ethan Burt. Ethan's been playing a lot of corner on both sides for the Scots every week. But Ethan, it just seems like every week your coverage is a little tighter, you're a little more physical, but we're calling your name a lot. Tell us how fun it is to be out there under the lights on Friday night.
It's fun. It's fun. It's just getting better, just playing with the team, building the bond and everything.
Ethan, so you've got a really cool, unique situation. You're the only kid on the team whose dad is one of the coaches, Coach Burt, who coaches the defensive line for our viewers. Tell us sort of how much extra coaching you might get different than these other kids, when you're at home and not actually, at the football facility.
Oh, yeah. Well, I get a lot of coaching. So at Duncanville, he used to be a corners coach. So he knows a lot of stuff. And so every day, after practice and after games, we usually just sit and watch film, and he coaches me up on what I did wrong and all that. So
it's got to be. Is it fun being on the sideline with your dad and then being on the field for him?
Oh yeah, he's a big character. So
for sure, I know those D linemen love him. Hey, the last question is a really good one. I saw a week or two ago. I think you've committed to be playing somewhere in college next year. Tell us a little bit about that.
They're good. The coaching staff's great. They're really genuine. They love family and all that. But it'll be a good spot.
And where is it?
Arkansas, Monticello.
Fantastic. Hey, Ethan Burt, you're one of our defensive players of the game. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Nice job.
By HP Youth Football, preparing tomorrow's Scots today.
Another one. We've got defensive lineman Judge Ellis. Judge, they were calling your name a lot tonight. The guys up in the box said you're player of the game, and I said great because you can't give me one-word answers when we got a camera and a microphone. So get ready. This is going to be the most you've talked to me in a long time. Here we go. Judge Ellis. First of all, you're playing some nose guard as well as defensive end. Tell us about those situations and if it's a completely different animal or if you're using more or less the same technique.
Right. So they have me, I guess, playing nose guard on third and long situations, pretty much passing-only situations. And so on there, it's pretty much working on pass rush only, but it is a little different because normally I'm pass rush around that edge, but when I'm going from nose, I just kind of got to work the center, get around him, and try to get to that quarterback. So it's a little different, but been working in practice, so it's all good.
Hey, we just talked to one of your star corners, Ethan Burt, who, of course, is the son of Coach Burt on the defensive line. Tell us what it's like playing for him and what he did to try to get you guys worked up this week.
Yeah, playing for Coach Burt, it's been like it's a interesting and like incredible experience. He's always full of energy and just wanting us to get better. We didn't have a great second half last week, so this week in practice he had us do a little bit of extra drills that he has his own little, he calls them Coach Burt drills, and just kind of extra drill, like just not fun stuff that he had us do to get us motivated to not do the same thing that we did last week. Cool.
So the last question, Judge, talk about you and the other defensive linemen and how much you all motivate and encourage each other.
Yeah, this D-line unit's a family. We've been playing with each other, most of us playing with each other since, I guess, 7th grade middle school ball. So we've kind of gained that bond throughout the years. And we all just kind of know that we play for each other, and we're all there for each other when one of us, doesn't do their best. We're all there to pick them up, and we all want to see each other do the very best. So it's just kind of that great group of guys right there.
Judge Ellis, you're our defensive lineman of the game, and I'm going to do something I don't get to do often. I'm going to shake your hand. Congratulations. I'm proud of you. All right. We're looking for Luke Herring. Is Luke around?
Luke is our offensive player of the game, brought to you by Tolson Wealth Management, a proud supporter of the Highland Park Scots. That's Tolson Wealth Management.
Great. I wish I had had the microphone when Luke came running up. He said, "What's up? How you doing?" Luke and I have known each other a long time. Luke, first, the first question. Tell us about the leap at the goal line, because I know there's got to be some fantastic photos, but tell us how that play developed and how it ended.
Yeah, I was catching a little shallow route, and I got upfield past the OB, and I just had all the open field, and I don't know what was going through my head, but I guess I decided to jump, and I got into the end zone, so it worked out, but it's kind of a scary thing to do, but it worked out.
Do you think it's sort of in your blood since you're a hurdler, and are you still a jumper, triple or long jump as well?
Yes, I still do high jump and hurdles, so I do like to jump. So maybe it's just my muscle reacting to my track stuff. So,
hey, so tell us about these fade routes that you and Jackson keep catching on the outside deep. Sometimes you're very open, sometimes you're not, but it seems like Brennan has confidence that you're going to catch it regardless. Tell us just sort of how that works.
Open or not, I think Brennan trusts me and Jackson enough. Just if he can put it up high, that we can go get the ball and make a play on it. So it's having being high side or outside, two big receivers. It's nice for Brennan to be able to throw the ball up, and I think he knows that we'll come down with it.
Hey, Luke, I know this has been a tough week for you and your team, some of your teammates and all of your teammates in the community, but just tell us a little bit about what it means to the community, the support that you guys as a football team are coming together and giving for Grace and her family.
I mean, it's so amazing how much support this community gives. Just this one girl, it's a terrible accident, and I've seen over the past 6 days how much the whole community comes together, such as the football team or parents or whatever it is, the whole school. It's so special to see all that go down, and just pray for her and make sure she's doing well.
Hey, Luke, there's a reason you're captain. You're a great leader. Congratulations on being our wide receiver of the game, and I'm proud of you as your former little football coach. Congratulations, Luke. Luke Herring's our wide receiver of the game. I've also got Whit Basso coming to join me. Whit Basso is our offensive lineman of the game. Hey, Whit, I mentioned to you just a little while ago, during the game, Pat Sauer interviewed your dad, and your dad said something about, Whit's doing fantastic, but he's not the biggest lineman out there. I started thinking, this kid's 240 pounds. He ain't small. Tell me what it's like being, quote unquote, the little guy.
I don't know.
Even though you're not little.
It's just, being out there with such big guys, it's always kind of like, I always get messed around about it. They always call me the little guy, but I don't know. The guys we're going against are pretty big, so, I don't feel little the way we play, but, they always give me a hard time about it, but.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Whit, you've got a bunch of fans here watching you and taking your picture. Who are some of these guys taking your picture, and are these your buddies?
Yes, these are some of my buddies trying to mess with me, just taking flash pictures of me.
Don't let them get to you. Don't let them get to you.
I know, got to hold a straight face.
Hey, so it seems like you do a really great job of keeping guys focused, but also keeping them loose. Tell us about that balance between intensity, but also, playing a game like it is, and how you focus on those things.
So, we got to keep the intensity up always, but being out there on the offensive line, there's a lot of thinking that goes into it. It's like you said, like whenever one of us messes up, we just got to think about the next play. Like we always try to emphasize that, like next play, one play at a time. So we're out there, we got to keep the intensity up. But thinking about it and just knowing what to do is the biggest part about being an offensive lineman.
Amen. Hey, Whit Basso, you're our offensive lineman of the game. Congratulations. Great job. I think we're going to go to commercial now.
We'll take a quick commercial. We'll be back in a moment. The official burger of Highland Park football.
Burger House keeps my O-line fueled for the big games. I got your back.
Mouth-watering burgers, famous fries, handmade shakes and malts made the old-fashioned way, like they were back in 1951, when we first opened our doors. Next time you have the urge for a double-double and Jack's Famous Fries, stop in and step back in time to our neighborhood restaurant. We would love to see you. Go Scots! Our special teams player of the game brought to you by Mark Clifton Homes, trusted builder of exceptional homes. Jay, got our special teams player of the game?
I do. I've got Jake Tansey, as you all know from commentating, and our viewers know. Jake has been solid all year as the place kicker. Tonight, he made all his extra points and a field goal, and he's got buddies trying to make him laugh back here. They're making me laugh instead of him. He's doing better than I am. Hey, Jake. they're mentioning upstairs you haven't missed an extra point in the entire year. First, talk about the kicking unit and how, even though we all see the kicker, the 11 guys it takes to have the kind of success you're having.
Well, the snap is good, you know. We all just, it's fast and it gets through. Judge snaps it, it's a good snap. Jay gets it down always. He comes from right after scoring touchdowns, and it's just, I always high-five him. I'm like, great job, and he just comes straight and holds it, and it's just good.
How cool! I hadn't thought about that. He's probably out of breath, and he's making great holds for you. Right. Hey, so tell us. You mentioned to me one of your extra points tonight. I think you wanted to hit that scoreboard and kicked a little harder. Tell me about sort of what you're thinking when it's an extra point and the power you're putting into it compared to when you're making longer kicks.
Normally I'm trying to get it through, just focused on technique. But that last one, I was trying to hit the board. I was trying to swing. I was trying to swing really hard, and it went through. They all went through.
Yeah. Good. Hey, one last question. Highland Park's kicking game has been really strong this year, and part of the reason is we have several guys that take on different kicking duties. Tell us about those others and the success they're having.
Regis got moved up recently, and he's been bombing it. He's been getting lots of touchbacks. You know, Baines is he's working on it, but they're both been really good.
Yeah. Oh, hey, I told you that's the last question. I was wrong. You're also doing a fantastic job punting the ball. We just don't do it very often. Tell us about what do you prefer, the traditional punt, or do you like sort of the little rugby running punt?
I kind of like rugby because it's kind of a soccer style. You know, I can get my hips through more. So I also, they're both fun. I just like doing punt. It's kind of fun. You know, just go out there, just hit it. Doesn't have to be precise. You just get to hit it far.
Hey, Jake, you're our special teams player of the game. I need to tell you, the worst thing an interviewer can do is make the kicker the last guy to the locker room or bus. They might not wait for the kicker. Get over there quick. I'm teasing you, obviously, but congratulations. Great game.
Thank you.
And that concludes our player interviews.
Thank you, Jay. Great job again tonight. If the kicker gets left, you're going to be taking him home.
Tansy's turning around in tears going, wait for me.
Mike McAfee, our statistician, joins us here in the booth now as we're going to go over some of the numbers from tonight's game. Again, a 38-17 victory. Scots win it over the Berkner Rams.
Well, like we saw last week, the statistical numbers kind of tightened up in the second half. One thing that does not show up in the numbers you're seeing on the screen, the second scoring drive that the Rams had during in the break from the third to the fourth quarter, I don't think we actually called that one. 20 plays, 94 yards. It lasted 11 minutes.
Wow.
They held the ball for an entire quarter. Is that amazing?
Wow.
Well, longest drive of this year. I know we had two last week that were 94 and 97.
But you're saying longest in terms of time.
In time, by far, and 20 plays. That's just amazing. So just to sum up the game, total yards for the Rams, 285 tonight. For the Scots, 367. The penalty yards absolutely I think they may have made a difference in the game when you get right down to it. Rams were penalized 13 times. The majority of those were false starts, total of 90 yards. And then the Scots had some big penalties at some pretty inopportune times, 4 times for 46 yards. No turnovers again this week. We've seen some really clean football all year long by both teams. Scots finished up with 16 first downs to 13 for Berkner. And the time of possession, as you could guess when you put together a 12-minute drive, you hold the ball most of the game. 33 minutes for the Rams, just under 15 minutes for the Scots. Looking at just a couple of the individual numbers, first of all, for the Scots, Brendan Shore finished up 18 attempts, 13 completions in the air, 253 yards, as you see on the screen there, had 4 passing touchdowns tonight. His receivers, all 4 different on touchdowns. Grayson Schrank had 5 catches for 93 yards with the touchdown. Jackson Heiss, 1 catch for a 30-yard touchdown. Bo Lilly had 4 catches for 64 yards. Jay Cox had a 26-yard touchdown catch, and Luke Herring had 2 catches for 40 yards, including the somersaulting touchdown.
Which that somersaulting touchdown, by the way, our play of the game, which was brought to you by Riddell Plumbing, home of honesty, quality, great customer service, and proud supporter of the Highland Park Scots.
I think that went through his head. Like, if I'm going to get the play of the game, I've got to go airborne.
Well, of course.
And the game summary statistics report brought to you, as always, by Park Cities YMCA. Ask Jay about Park Cities YMCA. He will talk to you for days.
He loves it. Here's some of the...
Here's that play of the game right here.
Play of the game, I believe, yeah. Here's the crossing route to Herring. There it is.
Watch this. Watch this.
Herring thinks, I got to get on Sports Center.
Think he's telling all his friends about that.
And puts the ball right down to where it's very obvious. It stayed in bounds.
Brought to you by Riddell Plumbing right there. Well, great win for the Scots. Another good win for them. They stay undefeated. They don't have that fourth quarter letdown that they had last week. Everything seemed to work well. And, the other thing I was going to mention real quickly was you talked about the penalties just a second ago. 2 of those penalties brought back touchdowns for Berkner in a 38-17 game. Those could have been difference makers.
Could have been the difference, definitely. But I think the Scots, as Coach Allen said, I think his quote was a business-like approach. They came out and they did what they needed to do, and they got the win, and now they move on. And I think that's the name of the game in a game like this, that you have to depend on the kids to get themselves ready to play a great game. And I think they did that. And again, I continue to be impressed with the lack of turnovers and how clean the Scots are playing.
Well, the Scots next week will take on Nimitz back at Highlander Stadium. We'll see you on Homecoming Friday night, 7 o'clock kickoff. And hope you'll join us for next week's game as well. That's going to wrap it up for our entire crew. Thanks so much for watching tonight. Again, Highland Park with the win tonight stays undefeated. Scots take it 38-17 over the Berkner Rams to go to 6-0 on the season. Have a terrific weekend, and we'll talk to you next Friday night. And again, good night, God bless, and happy football.